Sports Center.
Bad news for the UTSA Roadrunners. After setting a UTSA single-season record with 14 sacks this year, linebacker Trey Moore has entered the transfer portal. NCAA President Charlie Baker proposed a rule change today that would allow Division I schools for the first time to pay their athletes in ways that are not tied to educational resources. And the Cowboys can clinch a spot in the playoffs this week.
Woo! Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix.
Howdy.
What's up? What's up?
Oh, my goodness. It's Tuesday.
You know what we're going to do today? We're going to spend more time bitching about backup quarterbacks. And can you win with a backup quarterback?
Well, Cincinnati can.
Yeah.
Absolutely they can.
Jacksonville couldn't.
That's a different ball game. It's apples and oranges.
See, one's for this argument, one's for that. There's
No,
your
it's
apple,
like-
here's your orange.
Well, the Cincinnati guy had got to practice all week long.
Uh-huh.
And the poor guy, Beathard from Jacksonville, just got thrown into the fire.
Well,
It's a different ball game.
It really is. Although, you know, we've seen Browning playing better, big-time quarterback coming in, probably made him some money last night.
He might have. But, you know, it's you give these backups a chance with good players around them, and, you know, they just might be able to win.
They might be, or they might fall on their face.
It could be.
I
At least they get to play.
I got to say, it pains me to say this. It really does. But last night might have been the worst broadcast I've ever heard Joe Buck and Troy Aikman do.
Really?
Because those guys went in that game going, this crap backup quarterback, this is going to be an ugly game, blah, 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 blah. They didn't do good. I mean, it was so bad, I went over and watched Eli and Peyton and Tua for a few minutes, and then I jumped back out of that because that was awful. But last night, Troy Aikman acted like he didn't give a damn about being at work.
Well, he needs to. That was a hell of a football game.
It turned into a pretty good football game, and I think it surprised everybody, including the broadcaster.
Well, and with that, you know, and I guess I wasn't paying that close attention to what those guys were saying.
As much as you rip on bad broadcasters named Chris Collinsworth, I'm surprised you didn't hear that.
Well,
because Troy sounded like Chris last night.
I'm about to rag on both of those guys. If they're going into a game, as much money as those two guys get paid, you know, do your thing. I don't give a damn who's playing.
Was it me? Because if you didn't notice it, Pledge, did you notice it? I mean, they didn't have a good game last night.
There was no energy in the broadcast.
I mean, yeah, it was. And honestly, I mean, I went into that game, and Joanna was like, my wife's like, because I started with Peyton and Eli because I thought, well, that might be a little bit more entertaining, and then I went back and forth just because, you know, I don't know, I'm not a fan of the Manning cast as much as I used to be. I think it's nice as a one-off, but week in and week out, yeah, I don't know. If Twitter tells me to go check it out, I'll go check it out. Pledge says Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner were awesome.
They
here
always
on
are.
94.1 San Antonio.
I mean, those two, those two guys are a hell of a team. They really do. I do like Kurt Warner and his analysis, but I mean, come on. You know, it really is. If this is what you do for a living, and that's your game. I mean, it was the same with Al Michaels bitching about Amazon. And it's like, dude, you are getting paid a boatload of money.
When it looked good in August when we put the schedule together, and it turns out in, you know, mid-October, this was a bad idea. You do the game the same way.
Game. It's a football game. And look, I don't care if these guys want to complain. They're only hurting themselves. Because if for some miracle, and I say that in a bad way, that, you know, the NFL goes away, guess what, Joe, Troy, you don't have a job.
I think they'll be fine.
Just do your job.
Either way, I think they'll be fine.
Joe still has baseball.
Just do your job.
Actually, he does.
He does not.
Oh, do you not pay attention? He hadn't done baseball since he left.
He left Fox.
Yeah.
No baseball.
Yeah.
They did the
No.
World Series this year.
The dude that's the Dodger broadcaster. And those games are on Fox, not ESPN. You know he changed jobs, right? He doesn't get the Herb Street treatment where he could just work for whoever. I mean, and I'm seeing, speaking of broadcasters in a rabbit hole that we're going down, for this in-season tournament thing, and I'm glad, Rob and Rudy, you're paying attention to it, because that's the only reason why I'm up to date, because I don't give a damn.
I could care less about that. It's worthless, except for the guys who are going to make $500,000.
Well, and that doesn't benefit me at all, but the TNT crew guys are going to be a part of the overall broadcast thing, so they're merging networks for this. I'm down for that.
Because they need something to make it entertaining.
Well, if you're going to do it for this in-season tournament, can we get Charles and Shaq for the NBA Finals when that jumps over to ABC?
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that pregame, postgame, halftime show is terrible on ABC.
Terrible.
It's awful.
Terrible.
Terrible.
How's your day?
It's great.
You good?
I had a great day. Yeah, I go to the gym today. Everybody's still either complaining one side or the other about the college football.
Did you throw weights today?
Committee. I did. I picked some up and I put them down.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Did I throw weights?
Yeah.
No. I have a hard enough time picking them up, much less throwing them.
I saw on and it had to be fake, but one of those Instagram reel things.
Yeah.
They were arguing over the Florida State getting left out, and the dude literally took a 45-pound weight and threw it at the gym. And I thought, they got video of Joe.
Well, I can do that.
Really? You might be able to pick it up, but I don't know how far you're going to throw it.
I just find it interesting that and I guess you just forget year after year, but there's always a little controversy.
Always.
This year it's controversy on steroids, but everybody today talking about that. As I'm walking in and working out this morning, everybody's talking about the college football playoffs and how Florida State just simply got screwed.
And you know what you haven't heard one person say? I'm not watching that. They screwed those boys. We're all going to watch. We all got the games that we want. And when those games are being played, you're not going to miss Florida State being in there.
Well,
if we get two great games in the semifinals, the committee got it right. So, and I still say, by the criteria, as wrong as it is, the committee got it right. We got the best matchups for the semifinal games, which hopefully leads to a great Longhorn win in the national championship game.
So going by that, say, for example, if Texas just destroys Washington, so the committee still got it right? Or if Alabama just rolls, wait a minute, did I say Washington? If Alabama rolls Michigan, did they get it right? I mean, if it's a blowout win by either side, by your saying that, then I guess they got it wrong. If either team is blown out, the committee got it wrong.
It's a bit of a surprise.
Then they got it wrong by your theory there.
I mean, let me ask you this, though. I mean, you look at the matchups and you think it's going to be a great matchup, right?
Yeah, I'm not
right?
sure. I suppose.
Just in general. Let's use it. Let's use an example that just happened. All week last week, we talked about what a great matchup San Francisco at Philly was going to be, right? 3.5-point favorites, and blah, 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 blah. One of us took Philadelphia.
I did.
And Philadelphia got blown out.
They did.
Right? Were we all wrong in saying this was going to be a great game?
Well, we said the same thing with the Cowboys in San Francisco. Well, as a matter of fact, I think I said, man, I cannot wait for this football game.
Yeah.
And then it turned out it was over at halftime.
I mean, but on paper, the matchup looks great. So you think both matchups look great? They look great, as opposed to a Florida State team with a backup quarterback, right? Now, last night's game did not look great because of a backup quarterback.
And it turned out to be fantastic.
Turned out to be good, right? But nobody really cared about last night's game because of a backup quarterback.
What is the best thing about sports? Best thing about sports is the underdog story.
Sure.
The Cinderella story, the guy that comes not supposed to do anything and all of a sudden comes out and he's the hero. What happened to that? It's just supposed to be the big giants, everybody that's supposed to be good, matching up, and that's the way it is.
I mean,
no more underdog story, no more. Man, can you believe what that guy did? I mean, when nobody gave him a chance.
Well, see, but if he's put in that position, by the committee, then it's not really the underdog story. But what I am saying though, you know what the best part about sports? It's not the underdog story.
No.
It's the best reality television out there.
Well, there's no question.
We have no idea what's going to happen.
You don't.
We have no idea. We can pick, we can guess, we can make educated guesses.
We can.
But they got to go play on the field.
But to have a guy that nobody is giving a chance to do anything, and to have that guy step up and be the hero and lead his team to victory, I mean, that's just how it's supposed to be written.
I mean, look.
That's reality TV.
I get it. Fred Villarreal says Greeny was still very upset this morning.
So is Joe Reinagel.
And so is Joe Reinagel. And you know what? Both you guys are going to watch those games. Knowing both of you guys, you're going to have a little something on both of those games.
Well, here's the thing, and this forces me to do something that I really don't want to do. Pull for Michigan. I want Michigan to curb stomp Alabama.
Okay.
That's what I want. And as long as Texas is in, I hope Texas wins the whole damn thing.
Okay.
I really do. But that game, I hope Michigan just curb stomps Alabama.
In the spirit of Greeny, is that the KOD?
Oh, it might be.
Okay.
I haven't picked Michigan yet, but I'm just saying.
But
I hope that
we're
happens.
Forecasting ahead on our prime picks.
I hope that
weeks
happens.
From now.
Well, it could be. I just hope it happens.
I mean, at this point, we should probably just stop the whole segment. Pledge has run away with the thing.
Yeah, he really has.
It's a battle for second. But the other part of it is, I mean,
very tight battle, though.
We have no idea what's going to happen in games. We could say this team is clear-cut better than that team.
Yes, we could.
And most of us will agree on that. Unless your name is Jerry Jones and you're talking about the 49ers and the Cowboys. We'll explain. Coming up next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's Sunday night football. The Cowboys and Eagles. Nothing better on a Sunday night beginning at 6.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught at the 45, 40, Pollard, 20. Good night, nurse.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
My name is Nodge. I'm gonna rap you a tune. I work at a place called Quarter Moon.
It's not that kind of rap. Folks, all of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC invite you to donate to Rappin' with Jack. If you'd like to donate a new toy or needed item, simply give it to any of our Quarter Moon trucks or vans you see around town, or stop by our office. For directions, visit quartermoonplumbing.com, 210-651-5899. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number M16004, DACLA 000743458E.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to hand-stitched leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit JesseHernandezLaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or JesseHernandezLaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074 or hill-electric.com.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, I came as fast as I could. What's wrong?
Everything's okay. I just need you to know I'm glowing up.
You just texted SOS Get Here Now.
And I stand by that because I switched to Cricket and got the all-new Motorola Razr. I have entered my flip era, and I am glowing up.
I'm gonna go back home.
I support that.
Switch to Cricket and get the all-new Motorola Razr for $199.99. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Must open a new line on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com. Smoker's Paradise, your premium smoke shop. Fully stocked to shop everything you need for your smoking needs under one roof. Vaporizers, disposable e-cigarettes, hookah accessories, water pipe, cigars, and more. With 16 area locations, including the newest at 8214 FM 78. Visit smokersparadise.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
I love San Antonio, man. I love it.
On 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe, I'm Jason. Glad to have you along on a Tuesday. If you go to sasportstar.com, the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge page, the A-Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge, it's up. Apparently it had some issues earlier tabulating. I don't know.
Tabulating?
Sure. You know, because the weekly winners get that $50 gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware over on Thousand Oaks.
That's right. So it's important to know if you are that guy.
Yeah.
Or girl.
Although that guy, Nick was telling me, gift card's already gone in the mail.
Oh.
Yeah. Make your picks for this week.
That's why Nick is the best in the business. Just a promotions genius.
One of the things I appreciate about Nick is he knows, like, every Tuesday morning, he must be one of those slaves to the task thing that the computer says. Find the winner, send them the stuff. Don't let it sit around.
That's a
one
great
thing
idea.
Nick, our promotions director, doesn't do. He doesn't put stuff off.
Good.
Right? If he says this is going to happen, boom, it happens.
It happens.
There's other people that we work with, they'll tell you one thing, like Swampy, like, this is what we're going to do. And then it doesn't happen. He's like, too many things are spinning in the air. I forgot. Right? Nick doesn't forget.
Oh, well, good for Nick.
Mm-hmm. You think about, so get your picks in for this upcoming week. SASportsStar.com. Interesting week with all the different backup quarterbacks that are going to be playing, matchups that will feature backup quarterbacks, which makes picking games a little bit more of a challenge.
A little bit more of a challenge, but you got to take a chance on some of these guys. Browning, actually, it was Browning, right? He looked pretty good last night.
Yeah, no,
he
looked really good.
And Jamar Chase was a monster. Jacksonville had no answer for that guy.
No.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of these teams, Cincinnati included, they've got talent around these guys, and if you just don't require the quarterback to have to do it all, then get it done. Pledge was trying to mess with me earlier talking about the New York Jets. Well, their backups haven't gotten it done. Well, their team sucks all over the place. So
there were people that thought that team was going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
That's exactly right. And it turns out they weren't, because their offensive line is garbage.
Or maybe the quarterbacks are garbage.
Well, if you get the snap and you drop back and you take a step and you're on your butt, I think that's the offensive line that's garbage. Yeah.
I think it's a combination of dumpster fire.
So you think Aaron Rodgers would make a difference?
I think Aaron Rodgers would make a difference.
I don't think so.
I really do.
I still don't think the Jets would be anywhere close to the playoffs.
We'll never know. But the reality is the team that they put together, great defense and an offense with some weapons. Young receivers.
And a crappy offensive line.
Well, I don't know that their offensive line was necessarily.
Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the first, second snap of the game? Why? Because he got sacked.
It was 4 snaps in.
He got sacked.
It was the 4th snap, sir.
So he got sacked.
He played 4 snaps.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
The offensive line is crap.
And that cost him his Achilles.
Yes.
It's interesting, though, because a lot of people thought they were going to be favorites this year, the Jets. They're not. As you look around right now and you look at power rankings, it feels like it's San Francisco, and then in a distant second, maybe Philadelphia, and then maybe Dallas when you're looking at the NFC power rankings, right? Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan says, I don't think that they're all clearly that much better than his Cowboys.
Well, I'm not saying it's clear. It may be clear to you, but it's not clear to me.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure where that remains. I will say this, but we sure have the opportunity. We've got the talent the way Dak is playing, and we've got the opportunity to win any game we play against either of those teams.
And Jerry's absolutely right. You've got an opportunity to beat either one of those teams. In fact, Sunday night, you've got an opportunity to beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So he's right about that. But you haven't shown that you can beat San Francisco.
The interesting thing, the funny part here, and I appreciate where Jerry's coming from, but at some point, wouldn't you appreciate some honesty, right? Right now, they beat the doors off of stuff at their place. They should be ranked ahead of us. They were clearly better than us when we met on the field. Last time we played Philadelphia, they won the game. They were better than us that day. I get a chance this week to make good for that. But I don't give a damn about the regular season. Cowboys have as many regular season wins since 2021 as anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I mean, literally, I saw RJ Otoa tweet that out. I think it's 34 wins for them and them. Who cares? Can you get it done in the postseason? And Jerry Jones believes his Cowboys can.
Well, I presume you're saying they being San Francisco and Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But again, I just have respect for their team. Do I think that we have a chance to beat either one of those teams when we play them? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, we can. And I think we've got an outstanding chance here Sunday against Philadelphia. And I think it won't be the same game when we play any of these teams the second time. It never is. But do I expect all out the complete It just an NFL war to over exaggerate. Yes, I do, because they've got great players, both teams, San Francisco and Philadelphia. They've got outstanding players. They've got great coaching. But guys, we do too. So that's what makes the ball game.
He's right.
He's right.
He's absolutely right. Look, the problem with the NFL and what scares me, and I don't want anybody to be less than full strength when they face off against each other. The Eagles and the Cowboys, starting quarterbacks intact. Looks like everybody for the most part is ready to go. That's the way it should be. But with 5 games left in the season, that's what scares me. You look what happened to Trevor Lawrence last night. We talked about backup quarterbacks everywhere. That's the scary part of the NFL.
You know, it is, and I want full strength.
Yes.
Right? However, if the Cowboys are full strength and their opponent is not, I'm not going to feel bad about beating them. Right? To be quite honest, I'm not rooting for injuries. I want them to be full strength. But like Philadelphia last year took advantage of Brock Purdy with no arm.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't give a damn as long as I got an ornament. You know, we put up our Christmas tree. You probably have this same ornament. And when I say you, a lot of you out there listening, says, "Dear Santa, all I want for Christmas is a Cowboys Super Bowl." You know how old that ornament is?
Well, it's at least 30 years old, isn't it?
Well, I mean, probably.
Close to it.
Now, granted, even if they won last year, I want back-to-backs as I'm greedy. But, I mean, at some point, whatever it takes to get there, and I imagine Jerry's the same way. I'd like to beat you at full strength. I want no excuses. I want nobody saying this, that, or the other. But at the same time, like last year when the Cowboys played the Eagles at Jerry World, Jalen didn't play in that game.
No,
just like when the Cowboys played in Philadelphia, it was Cooper Rush at quarterback. It was kind of strange last year that neither starting quarterbacks faced off against each other.
Well, and that, again, the scary part of it all. And look, when you look at San Francisco, and we saw the difference in them when some of their stars were out, they play a physical brand of football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really do. And so, they've got Seattle this week, and their schedule is not as difficult as certainly the Cowboys. The Cowboys of those 3 teams have the most difficult schedule remaining.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a battle to get to the postseason, and I hope that everybody is at full strength. That's what I want to see.
Now, that said, to be clear with what you just said,
a
battle to get to the postseason, I think all 3 of those teams will be in the playoffs. Now, the Cowboys can clinch on Sunday night with a win.
Yes.
But they can clinch with a win and a blah, 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 but there's like 8 dominoes they have to fall.
Well, it's the same with Philadelphia. They can clinch with a win.
It's stupid to put out the scenarios of who can clinch
the
this
same
week,
way.
right? Because, you need all these other things that happen. You can look at and say, playoff team. They're not bubble teams, if you will, right?
No, they're going to make the playoffs.
They're going to make the playoffs.
Detroit's going to make the playoffs.
Yes.
Atlanta or New Orleans is going to make the playoffs.
Where's the committee?
Holy cow.
We need a committee to keep them out.
What I mean by battle, and yes, the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. That's not what I meant. What I mean by that, it's going to be tough. Those are tough teams that they've got to go through before they can get to the playoffs.
Now, one of the things about the Cowboys, I mean, offensively, they have been incredible as of late. And I think you got to give Mike McCarthy all the credit in the world, and whatever Kellen Moore was doing, seeing what's happening out there with the Chargers, something was there. But that was a nice win last Thursday night against Seattle. But a lot of questions raised about that Dan Quinn defense. He talked yesterday about what went wrong for his unit. We'll dive into that next on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, have you been accused of a crime or maybe being investigated for one? Well, look, if you are, I'm sorry, but you need great representation to make sure that they protect your innocence. And that great team is the LaHood Norton Law Group, made up of former prosecutors turned criminal defense attorneys that can help you stay a step ahead of your legal program. They know both sides of the criminal justice system, and they handle all criminal cases, whether it's state or federal. Look, you're going to get honest, aggressive, trusting, expert, and fearless representation with the LaHood Norton Law Group. They've got nearly a century of combined experience. If you need legal help, you need the LaHood Norton Law Group on your side. Give them a call. The consultation, the first one is free. 210-797-7700. That's 210-797-7700. Sooner you make that call after you've been accused, the better off you're going to be. So call the LaHood Norton Law Group today. 210-797-7700 or get them online at lahoodnorton.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Wednesday on R&R in the morning, we hear from Cowboys owner and GM Jerry Jones. His thoughts on where Dak Prescott can get this team. Also, Silver and Black podcast at 7 a.m. Minnesota's in town.
Power rankings are out. We'll rank them top to bottom. And hey, this NBA tourney's kind of fun. Wait till KD and LeBron get busy. Party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the UFC fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Celebrating 10 years in business, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener, or online at tricountymeat.com.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 plus in President State. We're lawful to wager. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First online real money wager only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com in Kansas, 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Help is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Life moves fast. No one has time for a car, truck wreck, or commercial vehicle accident. At Davis Law Firm, we get it. When you call the force, you don't have to worry. Rental. Verdicts. But if you were in a car, truck wreck, or hit by a commercial vehicle, call me at 444-4444. You got it. There's only one number to remember. 4. Attorney consultation by appointment only. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio. Davis Law Firm is a proud official partner, personal injury attorney of the San Antonio Spurs.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on a Tuesday afternoon. You can always be a part of the show. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there. If you comment, make sure you hit the thumbs up button first. Make sure you're subscribed to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You can always tweet at Joe Reinagel 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. Like Gary Murphy, G. Murph, I'm assuming that's Murphy, tweets in, what happened to Jacksonville last night is Joe's fault. That was his pick to win the AFC. Hey, Joe, care to kibosh any other teams?
Well, let's see. Who's your favorite team, G. Murph? Let me put a little Joe's jinx on that one.
Joe's jinx?
Yeah. Huh?
Is that what we're going to start calling it?
Yeah, why not?
You like that?
You know, you guys,
Joe's jinx.
My record is pretty good. You know, but then you folks just tend to come out and, only when I lose one.
Well,
like my big game was Oregon. I thought Oregon would
best team in the country.
Exactly.
Joe's jinx. Can we get Big Voice Guy to create something for Joe's jinx?
I think we can.
Can we get that done?
I think that's possible.
Joe's jinx. Do you guys like that?
And
any other ideas out there?
Yeah, let us know if you've got some ideas for that. Although
because you're wrong so damn often. We do need big voice sound effect guy.
I just wonder, did Jacksonville get knocked out of the contention for the AFC Championship last night?
They've got their backup quarterback. The committee's eliminated.
Yeah, they're done. Well, that's about half the NFL. Thank God there's no committee in the NFL.
You are correct about that, sir.
My goodness.
Joe's jinx. The kiss of Joe. See, that doesn't sound right.
KOJ?
Yeah. Yeah, kiss of Joe. Greeny's got the kiss of death. A kiss of Joe. Nobody wants to kiss Joe but Maggie. And maybe the dogs.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
yes.
Outside of that.
Well, doesn't that perfectly describe his picks, though? Nobody wants Joe picking them.
I like Joe's jinx.
I do too, though.
Dude, I'm much better than all of that. I don't know where you guys are
dude,
coming
I've got
from.
a fridge full of beer that you have purchased that proves otherwise, my friend.
I drank it and you refilled it.
I owe Rudy J beer.
You haven't paid up yet?
No.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, I haven't seen him. He said to buy him a couple of beers in Boston.
You bought that?
So I'll do that. Sure.
Dude,
I don't even know what he's talking. I've never heard of the beer that he wanted.
Flight by Yingling.
That's not what he wanted.
It literally was.
No.
What he told you was some expensive bottle from like Texas Cheer. But you bet a 6-pack of beer, so it's Yingling.
Well, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find it. It was some kind of like wolf mist or
wolf mist?
Wolf mist or
what the hell is wolf mist?
I don't know.
That sounds
That's I'd never heard of it.
Bad cologne while you're traveling?
I have no idea.
Wolf mist.
60% of the time. It works every time.
Robert Jimenez says the TOD, the toe of death. Oh, Reinagel. Yeah, we're not doing that. Don't bring feet into this.
I'll do that.
Only on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Camels and beavers.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my.
I don't even know where we were going. Got sidetracked with camels and beavers.
Camels and beavers.
Which is your fantasy football team name.
It is.
Yeah.
One of them.
One of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got injury problems.
Welcome to my world,
My
man.
goodness.
Nobody gives a damn about your fantasy
I
team.
needed Christian Kirk to have a good night. He catches a 30-yard pass and gets hurt.
I mean, and nobody cares about my fantasy team either, but you guys can all sympathize. I lose last night to Bill Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah, because I needed a big game from T. Higgins. 3 points. 3.
I did have a good night, though, from Joe Mixon. He was good.
Did you win your game?
No.
All right. Nobody cares.
I did not.
I mean, I am second to last place in our league.
But you don't want to finish last.
I don't want to finish last. It will cost me
an
more.
extra $50.
I'm trying to think. I think the dude that replaced you,
he's last.
He's dead last. Although he's got other things to worry about on weekends than his fantasy team.
He's living one.
He really
he's
is
living a fantasy.
He really is. As the Cowboys get ready to take on the Philadelphia Eagles coming up Sunday, and look, Eagles got destroyed by San Francisco. They haven't been playing great football, and it caught up to them. Cowboys, on the other hand, have been on a roll, and they're great at home. And I said this on Friday, the thing that impressed me most about that Cowboys win over the Seahawks is they were in a dogfight, and Dak Prescott had to carry that team to a win because the defense didn't show up. That's not the formula that the Cowboys are designed. The Cowboys are designed defense first. That defense taking pressure off of Dak. And it was nice to see if the defense had a bad game, Dak could lift them to a victory. Dan Quinn was asked about the defensive issues and gave good coach speak answer about being resilient.
As we stand here and we talk a lot about resilience, a lot. And I think it's not just a word, but it has to be a way of life if you're really going to, use that. And it has to be proven. It has to be earned. And I thought versus Seattle having 3 fourth down stops in a row at the end of the game, that was it. That's the resilience that we talk about, and we had to live that now.
Yep.
Don't get it twisted. I was happy about that part of the game, but there was a lot that I wasn't. And that certainly took up some of my sleep and some of my focus over the weekend. But man, do I love how tough we are and what we stand for and how we're ready to get it on at any time and in any situation. And there's a lot that can be gained from that.
Well, look, and all of that's true. And Clarence Hill said it yesterday from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. I think he said it again this morning on R&R in the morning. Things have switched when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. They're no longer a defense-first football team. Dak Prescott has taken over, and Dak Prescott is winning games for the Dallas Cowboys with his arm and with his legs. That defense, it's good, but it's certainly not great.
It's not legendary. It's not historic.
Well, and in all honesty, they got beat up last week by Seattle.
They did. But the question that I have moving forward, because we have seen that shift in dynamic, and I think some of the injuries, a loss of Diggs, which was felt against Seattle, and maybe from a fan perspective, it hasn't been felt to that point because the Cowboys are playing bad teams with big leads, but against a good team, that secondary was exposed, and the loss of Leighton Vander Esch, who was essentially the quarterback of that linebacking crew. They lose out on Shaq Leonard. It would have been nice to have him. I don't think the Cowboys are going to miss not having him, but that reinforcement certainly is going to help. But is it a good thing if the Cowboys have shifted to more of an offensive type team? Or do you need that defense to still be what we thought it was going to be, the way this team was put together? And look, I mean, from training camp to where we are now, obviously things are going to change. But can they have that shift of, well, we know that offense can go score, so the defense can be a little lax? Or does Dan Quinn, and follow me here. Remember, it was Kellen Moore's not here anymore because they wanted to run the ball more in certain situations to make sure that defense was rested. We're not seeing that. We're seeing the Cowboys throwing a lot more than running.
Yes.
Which means if they have a 3-and-out, that defense isn't getting rested. Against good teams, that cannot be a successful formula.
I just don't know if that defense is good enough. I'm not sure that they are. And it's not me saying it. I'm going back to Clarence Hill Jr., Fort Worth Star-Telegram. What did he say yesterday? He told us that defensive line got two guys.
Yeah.
They got Lawrence and Parsons.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I mean, they got some other guys that.
Well, they've got other guys, obviously.
I know, but I'm saying that, like, Odighizuwa is not going to be an all-pro guy, but he's not a liability being out there. Mozzie Smith, I
don't know where he is.
I mean, Ben. Hankins, I mean, so they've got some good blue-collar type playmakers that aren't going to be all-pro. It's not like Philly's defensive line, and granted, that's the University of Georgia right there.
Sure.
So, I mean, those guys, it's not like they have a Will Anderson Jr., right? They're not stacked that, outside of Micah Parsons, who gets so much attention. And Micah Parsons, the highest graded pass rusher this past week. I know he had a great game, but did it feel like he was having that kind of a game? No, because of all the attention that he gets. Well, and that opens up the door for other people.
Well, not only that, then the fact that Seattle scored 35 points. I mean, if in Dallas, it looked very familiar with Dallas teams in the past. They got to outscore them to win the football game. That's what they had to do against Seattle. Now, I believe they have the ability to do that, but you certainly don't want to take that chance each and every week. And we're going to see, starting this week with Philadelphia. Look, Philadelphia may not be the Philadelphia of last year, but they've got some talent, and they're going to be a little bit upset. I mean, Jalen Carter's crying on the sidelines after that loss to San Francisco. So the Georgia Bulldog's going to be fired up. He's going to be ready to go. They've got some talent, and they've got they give a better running game, certainly, than some of the teams the Cowboys have seen here lately. So it's going to be interesting to see how that defense holds up. They've got to play better. There's no question about it. Than they did against Seattle. They have to play better.
And one of the things that, and again, they do, and the offense can't afford to miss, if you will. But again, I don't know that it's the right formula for them to switch to say, okay, well, now we're offense first. I like the idea of defense first, but seeing what you're getting out of the offense. And Stephen Jones was even talking about this on 105.3 The Fan, just the differences in offense between what Kellen Moore was doing and what Mike McCarthy is doing.
In no way I mean, Kellen Moore did just an amazing job while he was here.
Yeah.
And so, what he did here, and Mike appreciated what he had done with Dak, and, didn't want to have a sea change overnight with all the success we were having. But in the meantime, I do think, Mike's been able to clean up some of the things that, if people were to be critical of Dak, which is hard to do because for the most part, he's played at a high level from the day he walked in the league as a rookie. But I do believe some of the things we're doing has cleaned up, some of the interceptions, which we all know how critical turnovers are when it comes to winning a football game. And certainly Dak's cleaned that up. I think he's thrown some of the, one of the quarterbacks in the league that's thrown the fewest number of interceptions. We're protecting the ball. And, I think we're just doing a really good job of getting the ball to the right people, executing. I think the running game's coming along. Can we be better? Absolutely. Can we be a little better in the red zone? I think those are all things that we'll continue to work to be better. And I think that'll happen.
We'll see. It's going to have to happen as they go into December and then certainly into January. All of the things that he just said. The one thing that he did say, and I think it's been overlooked in some respects, that helps that defense, the Cowboys aren't turning the football over. They're not. And that's huge. I mean, that's obviously a winning formula for any football team. Turn the football over, you're in trouble. You don't, you always have a shot.
You know what I find interesting with the turnovers, especially when you look around the league, you see some of the plays that are being made, some of the incredible defensive plays, like that interception Bland had Thursday night. He jumped the route, man.
Mm-hmm.
He risked it. Dude for the Texans, man, jumped a route, stole that from Russell Wilson. That pass was, I mean,
it was underthrown, but
whatever. It was an incredible defensive play.
It was a great defensive play.
You can almost, I don't want to say live with those interceptions, But sometimes, yeah, hell of a play by that guy, because you don't expect that. Maybe guy running through, making a tackle as the catch is being made. Because if you miss, you're giving up a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
So, but what you're not seeing with Dallas, and knock on all the wood you can, are the tip passes that get intercepted, which, and I forget what the number was last year, but of Dak's 15, we're at like 5, 6, 7 of those off of tip passes, either at the line of scrimmage or off a receiver's hands and into a defensive back's hands. And you see that throughout the league all the time. I mean, it's not only is Dak throwing the ball extremely accurate and extremely well, where he's not putting the ball in harm's way, but also those receivers are doing a good job. And I don't know if they're coached up or the Cowboys are just getting lucky. They're not bouncing off of their hands and getting intercepted. Remember, like last year in Jacksonville, Noah Brown had that ball that was down and away and it bounced up and, it was a pick six the other way. Dak is getting the breaks this year that he didn't get last year.
Well, he's getting receivers that are actually doing their job. Because isn't that a receiver's job, is to catch the football and not let it bounce off his hands?
But you see it all the time.
Sure. But
that's what I mean. It's like even the ones that aren't his fault that go on his record. A pass that might be a little high and outside, and the receiver's making an effort, bats it up in the air, and it gets intercepted. Those aren't happening to Dallas this year.
Or when you have a great tight end who saves you from an interception, the way Jake Ferguson did the other night,
dude,
with a sensational catch
yes.
that would have been a pick in the end zone.
Yes.
That's it. So, yeah, I mean, you've got to have, every quarterback needs help from his receivers at some point in time to make a play and to do what they're supposed to do. And that's been big. But the season starts this week, as far as I'm concerned, with the Cowboys. The season begins Sunday night because you get Philly, then you travel to Buffalo, you travel to Miami, and you got Detroit to finish things off. The Commanders, but that's a bye week, and probably nobody's going to play. But the next 4 games are the Cowboys season. We're going to see how good they are as they go through that gauntlet.
It's interesting because that last game, while it might be a bye week, I don't know that it will be if the Cowboys need it for playoff seeding. And again, I don't think the Cowboys win the NFC East. But to stay in that 5th spot, they might need that win over Washington.
Well, they might, but I think they've got a 2 or 3 game lead over the 6th seed at this moment in time, unless things, unless the wheels fall off for the Cowboys. And I'm going to check that, but I think it's at least a 2 game lead when it comes to 5 and 6.
No, I hear what you're saying. Because right now, Minnesota's got 6 wins and Dallas has 3. Green Bay at 6 wins as you look at it. But I'm looking at this stretch of games coming up, the Cowboys schedule versus everybody else's schedule. And, Philadelphia is in the middle of their gauntlet right now, and they've only lost 1. The Cowboys gauntlet started last week with Seattle. Now you got Philadelphia. You look at their stretch of games coming up, they don't get any cupcakes until that last game of the year against Washington. Philly closes with 3, which is why, even if the Cowboys win on Sunday night, I still think Philly ultimately ends up winning the division.
Probably so. Cowboys have a 3 game lead over Minnesota and Green Bay right now, and the Rams, by the way. So, the wheels would have to fall off for them to lose that 5 spot. And there's still a chance they could do better than that, but I don't think they do any worse unless they just completely fall off the planet. They would have to lose like every game from here on out.
I don't think every game.
Well, there's 5 left, right?
Yeah,
they'd have to lose 4 of them.
Well, other teams are going to win.
Well,
and if they lose one, there could be, some, road games at Buffalo, at Miami, Philly, Detroit. Do I think they're going to go 5-0 during that stretch? No.
The Cowboys?
Yes.
I hope they go 3-2.
Why would you say that?
What's wrong with 3-2?
The Joe jinx already.
3-2. It's another 12-5 season, Jason. You'll celebrate that.
No, I don't. I again, regular season, I've seen it. They're great in the regular season. I need January wins more than anything.
That defense will really be tested in Miami, and that's going to be fun to watch.
Could somebody just, Tyreek lines up on the right side, And
who's going to cover Tyreek?
He runs a go route.
And nobody going to cover that guy.
Just keep somebody 25 yards back.
Yeah, you're going to have to.
I mean, he runs one route.
That's all he needs because he's that much faster than everybody
else. I know
else.
Pledge is shaking his head. I know he runs more than one, but it feels like all he does is run by people.
He does. That's what he does.
Why don't you plan for that?
Because cornerbacks have egos too.
You know,
they think they're the guy. I can shut him down.
Have you watched Gilmore play? That guy knows he's not as fast as he used to be. He's 11 yards off the ball almost every snap.
Dude, I hope Gilmore's not covering Tyreek Hill. Okay, they might have a record day.
Mm-hmm. College sports could be changing as we know it. Pay for play, different than NIL. We'll talk about it next on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's Sunday night football. The Cowboys and Eagles. Nothing better on a Sunday night beginning at 6.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught at the 45, 40, Pollard, 20. Good night, nurse.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Pro Paint Days are back for MVP's Pro Rewards members at Lowe's. Now through December 15th, you can earn 10% back in paint rewards via Lowe's e-gift card when you spend $100 or more on qualifying paint purchases. Plus, save $10 on a new and exclusive 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Drywall PVA Primer and Sealer. Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Offers valid 12/4 through 12/15. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Boost Mobile is giving families the holiday gift they really want. When you switch to Boost, get an iPhone 11 for only $49.99 or a free Samsung Galaxy A23. You'll get amazing service too, because only Boost switches between the top networks to give you the best service. So stop by a Boost Mobile store and give the gift of Boost. That's an iPhone 11 for $49.99 or a free Samsung Galaxy A23. Get yours at a Boost Mobile store today. Visit boostmobile.com for details. New customers and in-store only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. When asked what is on your wish list this holiday season, send your Santa to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. 5 Oaks Ace Hardware has that new grill and all the grill accessories you have been wanting, plus over 300 spices and rubs that make great stocking stuffers. If you need power tools, 5 Oaks Ace Hardware has all the top brands and the tools you want. 5 Oaks Ace Hardware has specialty gifts and everything you need for indoor and outdoor lighting, decorations, and gifts. Drop the hint or kickstart the holiday shopping yourself at 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks near Jones Maltzberger.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose. Mommy. That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
The holiday season is right around the corner, so give the gift that's hard to wrap, but easy to give. Give them a Stihl. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Stihl Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $30 on the BG56 CE handheld blower. Visit your local Stihl dealer or go to stihlusa.com/gift guide. Real Stihl. Find yours. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Pro Paint Days are back for MVP's Pro Rewards members at Lowe's. Now through December 15th, you can earn 10% back in paint rewards via Lowe's e-gift card when you spend $100 or more on qualifying paint purchases. Plus, save $10 on a new and exclusive 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Drywall PVA Primer and Sealer. Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Offers valid 12/4 through 12/15. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Boost Mobile is giving families the holiday gift they really want. When you switch to Boost, get an iPhone 11 for only $49.99 or a free Samsung Galaxy A23. You'll get amazing service too, because only Boost switches between the top networks to give you the best service. So stop by a Boost Mobile store and give the gift of Boost. That's an iPhone 11 for $49.99 or a free Samsung Galaxy A23. Get yours at a Boost Mobile store today. Visit boostmobile.com for details. New customers and in-store only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, bad news for the UTSA Roadrunners. They are losing, well, arguably their best player. Linebacker Trey Moore has entered the transfer portal. Now, there could be some changes in college athletics. Charlie Baker, the NCAA president, proposed a rule change today that would allow Division I schools for the first time to pay their athletes in different ways that are not tied to educational resources. We're talking about it next.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Tuesday afternoon.
Absolutely.
Lots to get into.
Man, always. Always is.
Some good, some bad, some that will scare the hell out of you. And there's that too. That's James Pledger producing on the other side of the glass.
He had beans for lunch.
Apparently. Let's get into it with the headline Blitz. What the hell?
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
We'll start with Pledge's gas.
Pledge's gas?
Well, I mean, why not? Farts are funny. I don't know why farts are funny. We all fart. It's always funny.
Because we're all immature as hell.
Yeah, well,
that's why.
Well, we are. So last night, on my second TV, I was watching the Dallas Stars play the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, wow.
Some of us like hockey. Joe.
Wow.
It wasn't a good night for the Stars. They shut out Dallas, and their goalie afterwards, in his press conference, he was talking, typical cliche this, cliche that, until...
In your mind in the last 48 hours from the end of the game on Saturday to the start of this one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it wasn't great feeling last game, but what was the question?
I mean, the interview scrum, somebody farted. He lost it.
Hey, you know what? That was a loud fart for whatever reporter that was to get it up to the podium microphone.
Well, I mean, you talk about loud farts on a podium. I mean, that's a group of people, what we call a media scrum. Everybody's standing around a player holding microphones. Everybody's close, and somebody just let it rip.
I mean, right? Big time.
Imagine being on stage and you're doing a conference, right?
Very serious
conference, like high-level stuff being talked about, like natural gases.
Exactly right.
I mean, this was John Kerry. He's not currently...
No, he's like the climate czar or something. I'm not sure what his title is, but he used to be a senator, ran for president a time or two.
He's given he's on a panel on a stage in front of hundreds of people at this event.
Taking away those things on a daily basis. And
he farted.
I'm going to tell you the video.
climate
You
crisis
see there's a
and health
lady sitting next to him that's got the goofiest look on her face like,
You just did
"Whoa,
that?
You did that.
But you
and
know
it
what?
stinks.
John Kerry is a pro, right? John Kerry is a pro. He kept on going. Now listen carefully to the words as he is letting it rip.
taking away those things that are killing people on a daily basis.
Killing people on a
the
daily
reality is-
basis.
He just killed two of them on stage with him.
The look on that lady's face
Oh,
is going to be a meme.
oh my gosh. That's hilarious. You know, I mean, sometimes it's hard to hold those things in. But when you're in around a group of people like that, don't you find a way?
I mean, generally speaking,
I
you
mean,
do.
all right?
Until you don't.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah, my biggest pride is if I'm walking. And then it might be you go, whoa, oh, hey, glad there was nobody around.
Uh-huh. You hope nobody was around.
Well, you know.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, look, it's locker room talk. Lots of things happen in a locker room. There's lots of farting in locker rooms.
Absolutely.
There's lots of nakedness in locker rooms. And for whatever reason, the Kelsey brothers got into that during their podcast.
From Noel Randall via email, why are reporters allowed in the locker room? Do they at least give you a warning before they come in so players can cover their hairy buns and stuff?
Hairy buns.
Jason, I haven't seen your ass in a while, but you got some hairy buns.
The carpet matches the drapes. It for sure is hairy.
Yeah, which is hairy people.
Yeah.
Big Yeti's definitely got hairy buns. This is a fantastic question.
Yeah.
They do actually give us a warning after the game's over, after like meetings and everything. They give everybody, I think, like 10 to 15 minutes to kind of get situated, get dressed.
Yep.
I'm not sure why they just make it like a free locker.
Well, they can only have so many guys go to the podium. So I think the media wants this time period so they have a chance to talk to every guy essentially that played in the game. Is it weird having people in the locker room? I don't think it's weird.
The only time I feel like it's weird is if you're like ass naked next to the guy's locker that's getting interviewed.
I don't know. I think I've just been naked in front of enough people at this point that I don't think it's really that weird. I thought it was weird in high school when guys would wear like bathing suits into the showers.
That was weird.
That was weird. Get naked. We're all going to get naked now. It's not weird. You're making it weird by not getting naked. Now what are you trying to hide?
Oh, those guys are funny.
They are.
Oh,
now, you and I, with our jobs, we've been in lots of locker rooms.
Yeah.
There are lots of guys that are pro athletes that are also exhibitionists, right?
They don't care.
They don't care. They don't need a towel. They don't want a towel.
No.
They want nothing to do with the towel.
And male, female, doesn't matter who's in the room. I mean, reporter wise.
Yes.
I'm just going to say this.
Careful.
Back a long time ago.
Careful.
I was just a pup in the whole business, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm in the Spurs locker room after they played the Utah Jazz.
Okay.
Tyrone Corbin walked by. That was the biggest thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
I always wanted just about 6 inches, 6 more inches.
Holy cow, I was scared. I was scared, man.
The girth of Chubb prevails.
So, I mean, after you just see it get out, yeah, okay.
You're the only one that remembers that guy. And it wasn't for anything he did on a court.
Well, it's he wasn't a bad player, but I mean, it's like, I was like, holy cow. I mean, my gosh. He had a stick. I mean, it was just fun. Yeah, it was a stick, all right. Woo.
Why are you turning red?
I mean,
I want everybody to jump on YouTube and see how red Joe's face just got.
I haven't
You're
thought
thinking
to
about
grab the
some
knob.
other dude's junk.
I haven't thought about that dude in a long time.
Really? I mean,
look, I don't care. Y'all can all judge me, make fun, whatever, say whatever. If you would have seen this dude,
you're right.
You would have reacted the same
I
way.
mean, there are some where you go, okay, got a midsize and he's got a full-size SUV over there. That's not fair.
Dude,
right?
This guy had a limousine, okay? You're looking to grab the knob. No,
it
was more than a knob. And I was just started. I
Yeah,
mean,
the lever.
I was excited, going into.
Don't say you were excited looking at that guy.
No, not
Somebody's
that.
going to take that the wrong way.
Well, yeah, pledge.
Yes.
I took a poll. It was early on in my career.
You were just giddy to be in a locker room.
Happy to be going into the locker room to interview, and here comes Tyrone Corbin. Always like my meat big. I just wondered who his girlfriend was, man. I mean, my goodness.
Well, you didn't want to follow.
No. Woo. Holy cow.
You all right?
I'm good now. I get flashbacks like, woo.
Little PTSD?
Of course.
Can we move on?
Please.
All right. If that scared you,
yeah,
this headline is definitely going to scare you.
All right.
This is off Barstool. Literally saw this about 10 minutes ago off the Twitters. Are you ready for this? For all of you driving right now, 2 hands on the steering wheel. Headline. Porn watchers could have their face scanned if new legislation passes.
Well, I like porn.
According to this article, porn users could have their faces scanned to prove their age with extra checks for young-looking adults. Draft guidance from whatever suggests. Watchdog Group has cited a number of ways explicit sites could prevent children from viewing pornography because, according to them, a child first views porn at 13.
Really?
I would have thought it was much younger.
Well,
I mean, 13.
What was your? I mean, National Geographic. Right?
Well, all right,
like
but that was in the library. But no, I'm thinking. No, we didn't have phones back then. You had to get the magazines, right? But I think it was long before I was 13. To be honest,
I
don't remember.
I don't remember. So what happens if you get your face scanned, and whoever is scanning determines you're young looking? Some dude going to show up at your door and ask for your ID?
Well, they want extra checks. I don't know how they're going to do it. Explicit website Pornhub said regulations requiring the collection of highly sensitive personal information could jeopardize user safety.
Wow.
Your mom might find out.
Exactly. Your wife. Wow.
Privacy campaigners have criticized the proposal's warning as catastrophic consequences if data from age checks is leaked.
Yeah, you think?
Do you really want something scanning your face while you're watching porn?
You're going to go apply for a job and they say, well, explain this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
because,
my goodness.
I mean, if you ever wondered, I mean, not just, with the site like that, but just, facial recognition, right? I mean, all I have to do is look at my phone to unlock.
Yeah.
Right? So it's scanning your face.
Mm-hmm.
But at one point is the ability that it can record you, right?
Well, it probably is. I mean, think about it. Who knows?
I mean,
there's no telling what that's doing.
Well, this is true. And again, your whole life is on your phone.
Yes.
Everything is on your phone. But if it can scan your face for age verification,
what?
I mean, Pledge over there, look at him. I mean, he is mortified at the
nervous
thought
as hell,
that somebody could be watching him watching porn.
Enjoy the show.
And imagine the poor guy on the other end of that has to watch and verify. I mean, we've got to go back to the VHS days.
Yeah, you'd have to. No more computer or phone or whatever.
I mean, think about it. Kids today have no idea how difficult it was back in the day. Because it's all right there on their devices. We had a neighbor. He used to get a subscription.
The Playboy?
Yeah.
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 Well, you read the articles, right?
That's where I learned how to read.
Of course. Oh.
Never thought it happened to me, but.
What?
You don't remember Penthouse Forum? I always started. I never thought it happened to me.
Oh.
Well, then you graduated from Playboy to Hustler.
Yes.
Because that Hustler was a little more graphic.
It was. But that, I mean, do you remember Cherry?
No.
So we used to go.
I don't actually.
We used to go.
Cherry.
And granted, I'm from a small town, Copper Cove, Texas, right? There's a place called the Beer Barn in Lampasas where they didn't care what your ID said, right? As long as you showed them one. It could be your high school ID card. You were fine. But they had magazines that weren't available like at 7-Eleven. And so they were these off brands that you talk about out there.
Like Cherry.
Yes.
I'm unfamiliar with Cherry.
Well, I mean, think Hustler and then times 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very graphic.
Yeah.
Just remember, kids.
Yes.
Your phone can now scan your face to verify your age.
Uh-huh. That's scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a great segment. We went from farts to hairy buns to pornography. Wow.
Well, you know
I
that
like porn.
bar that is giving out free beer until Iowa scores, you know, another bar that's ripping off the Rupub idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that poor bar's losing money hand over fist.
Well, now they're going to continue until the Citrus Bowl, offering free beer until Iowa scores.
Again, I'd like to go to that bar because Iowa can't score.
They can't.
No.
They can't, but they're going to get their faces scanned.
Damn it, that's the only way they were scoring.
I don't know if that counts. I don't think that counts. The official rule book, I don't think that counts.
Well, I don't know. To some people, it might.
It's like practice. There's no There's no scoreboard involved.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Speaking of officials, there is a problem with NFL officials. Woo. Jerry Jones recognizes that. You won't believe what the man said this morning on 105.3 The Fan. We'll play that audio coming up next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When you need an electrician, you know Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my house through the years. They do fantastic work and have for over 3 decades. Family owned and run, Hill Electric has been serving San Antonio homes and businesses for over 30 years. They do fantastic work, and they've got the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or hill-electric.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Wednesday on R&R in the morning, we hear from Cowboys owner and GM Jerry Jones. His thoughts on where Dak Prescott can get this team. Also, Silver and Black podcast at 7 a.m. Minnesota's in town.
Power rankings are out. We'll rank them top to bottom. And hey, this NBA tourney's kind of fun. Wait till Katie and LeBron get busy. Party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Take an extra 30% off gift ideas from designers they'll love and 15% off beauty, skincare, and fragrance gift sets when you use your coupon or Macy's card. That's on top of great deals like women's holiday dresses, $150 and under. Plus, shop the season's hottest toys from Monster High, Discovery, and more, 10 to 50% off. Download the free Macy's app for more savings at Macy's. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
This year, Staples wants everyone to have a happy Holla deal. That's right, Holla Deal. Staples Holla Deals are amazing savings on hot holiday tech. Great prices on laptops, game systems, earbuds, and more. And now at Staples, you can save up to $350 on select PCs. During Staples Holla Deals, it's not about the fa-la-la. It's about saving moo-la-la. Save up to $350 on select PCs today at Staples. Ends 12/23. In store only. See associate for details.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your brain is an amazing thing. But as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times national survey of pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Accused of a crime? Our team of former prosecutors turned criminal defense attorneys can help you be a step ahead of your legal problems. The LaHood and Norton Law Group knows both sides of the criminal justice system. Our team is your best defense. Let us be your legal bodyguards. We can handle all criminal cases, state or federal. Call us to review your case at 210-797-7700.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's almost that time. Home for the holidays. Get your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year. Increase your chance of winning by also getting your friends entered socially. Make this holiday season the best ever. Just visit sasportstar.com and get signed up. One national winner could win up to $18,000 and pay their rent or mortgage in 2024. Official rules and sign up at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnick. We got WWE tickets to give away, right? Pair of tickets to go see Monday Night Raw, March 4th at the Frost Bank Center.
Nice.
Get your tickets at frostbankcenter.com or be caller number 11 right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 11. You win a pair of tickets to WWE Monday Night Raw, March 4th at the Frost Bank Center. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
That'll be fun. I love wrestling. I like wrestling.
You know, and then
pro wrestling.
We've debated this quite a bit. I'm not a fan.
I know you're not.
I get it, the entertainment value of it, but I've just never been into the scripted reality. But I do know when it comes to the officiating in wrestling, they're a part of the script. They're a lot of times they're a part of the show. And it is a show. Right now, the NFL, and it feels like all sports, but the NFL is so ginormous that the spotlight is, I think, even more on NFL officiating, more so than college, more so than the NBA. And it's just seemingly been downright bad, right? Now, part of me says, is it really bad? Is it worse than it's always been? Because now we have access to so many more games as opposed to 2 or 3. You can watch them all. With social media, you see clips immediately and people bitching about missed calls immediately. All the replays. I don't know if officiating is worse now than it was, but it certainly feels like it, and it's certainly more in the spotlight than it ever has been in the past.
Well, what was it? Was it the Cowboys Seahawks game? They were flag happy, right? I mean, those guys in that game, and then you had the game the other night where with the Sunday night game, clear pass interference, and then a personal foul, late hit on Patrick Mahomes. It shouldn't have been, and there's some things that you just got to let him play. And Mahomes, to his credit, said that.
Yeah,
when he was asked about the pass interference play, he said, "I'm just kind of glad they're letting guys play."
Well, and again, I think that was egregious. That should have been called. That
Sure.
wasn't judgment. That was egregious.
It was.
Now, I appreciate, you're letting him play. You go back to the Cowboys game, and he might have been arrested as opposed to just 15 yards for, the same kind of play. I've been a proponent of the Sky Judge since working with the Commanders in the Alliance of American Football League, because they used a Sky Judge. And basically, that guy could have called down and called that pass interference. It's, I forget what the terminology is, but it's a one look rule. If I look at it one time and see something, all right, we're calling. If I got to look over and over and piece stuff together, we're going to let what happened on the field go. And I think we're heading that way, especially with the amount of gambling that is now involved in the NFL, both legal and they're taking money from gambling companies.
Yep.
So the integrity of the officiating has to be even more above board than it ever has been before. And Jerry Jones was asked this morning about the officials on 105.3 The Fan. Some of this is Jerry being Jerry, but if you listen carefully, you go through some of what he says and you go, he's joking. In other parts, there's some serious concern there from the Cowboys owner.
We know there's judgment, and we know it can be wrong, and really is wrong a lot. The idea of getting it right, quote, with all that's at stake, but it can be right if you all agree that we're going to go on that guy's judgment. Now, he may be half blind, but we've decided that we're going to go on his judgment. We both agreed to it coming in, and we assume that his integrity is okay and good. So it's just a question of did he miss it or not? I think we've always lived with that.
Yeah. I mean, and you have to decide. He's right. You have to decide. I mean, that's the way the NFL's been. That's the way football's been. There is a human element to it that can be flawed. So do we want robots? Do we want, laser beams on the field? Do we want sky judges? I don't know.
I look at when you talk to some officials, and granted, I'll go with high school officials that, and again, they're doing their best, man, and they need more officials out there. The crap that those guys take is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Jerry joke, well, they're half blind or whatever. I mean, you hope that their integrity is intact, and they're doing the best job that they can. But there's so much going on, and the game is so fast that they're watching it real time from whatever angle it is they're on the field, and they all have areas they're supposed to be watching. So if they miss something and we see it on replay, well, a lot of times I'll look and see where is the referee at and what is he looking at? How did he miss that? Like, how do you miss a face mask there? How do you, I mean, because, but we've got the advantage of high definition televisions and a whole bunch of replays.
Yes.
They might have had somebody standing in the way or come across their line of sight. And while the infraction was happening, it's easy to understand how they missed something, but should we live with that if you're the NFL? Should those owners continue with the path that they've been down for so many years without utilizing the technology that everybody else is and criticizing their officials and in questioning the integrity of their sport?
I think the problem with the NFL is they're part-time officials. Hire them full time. Make sure they're trained. Make sure that they're held to account. These guys are bankers and lawyers and business people, most of the time. But if you hire them full time, like the NBA does, and I'm not saying the NBA is flawless because they make a lot of mistakes too, but hire them full time. I don't know why the NFL hasn't done that. And don't give me that, the insurance and then we got to do that.
Yeah,
no,
they got money.
NFL's got plenty of money. And so I just think hire these guys full time and hold them accountable, and make sure that they're learning, and make sure that they get fined or they do this if they do things. Something's got to be done.
I mean, I'm with you on all of them being full time. I get that aspect of it. But at the same time, I don't know how much that would change what we're seeing on the field.
I think it would.
I mean, if you're standing on a field and looking in a certain area, tell me what's different. I think some of it's speed of the game, where they're at. I don't certainly want more officials on the field. Like in baseball during the World Series, they had a couple more guys down the line. I don't need more officials out there with the ability to throw a flag. I'm a fan of the sky judge idea that you got one look at it. He's another official. He's up there. If he sees something that impacted the play, and that was one of the things that Mike Pereira told me because he was running the officials in the Alliance. I remember having breakfast with Mike in San Diego, and he was like, look, if he sees a holding penalty away from the play, he's not going to call that. That's not what he's there for. Only if it impacts the play to either pick up a flag or throw a flag. And I believe in more cases in the Alliance, more flags were picked up on the judgment calls, like, was that true pass interference or not? I like the idea of the sky judge.
I'm not opposed to that idea. I just think if you start holding these guys accountable, look, if they're making good money to be officials, but that's not their job. I mean, it's not their job. They've got another job. They've got other worries. I want these guys full time. You're training them. You're holding them accountable. You're fining them. If you're making a series of bad calls, they go to class. They watch. I mean, it's got to be a full time job in my mind.
I do think all of that you just described outside of full time, they already do. They get graded. They get paid.
But it's not their deal. It's not. I mean, if they get fired from the NFL, big deal. No big deal. I own a freaking company.
I mean, I to that point, I'm with you. But where they get penalized is if you don't perform well enough, you don't get playoff assignments.
Well,
which is more money in their pocket.
Well, that's good. But again, if that's your only job, you're going to be more apt to want to get that extra playoff money. Are you not? I mean, if you've got a job that pays you,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough refs. I don't know that they would be as nonchalant about it as like, this is fun on Sundays. I mean, I think they all, whether you're a college ref or not, they're like serious athletes. They take their job serious.
I get that. But again, and I know they're graded, but if that is your job, that's your only job, and that threat is there. If you're just consistently poor, that you're going to be out on your butt. I mean, I think it would make a difference if they're employed full time. If I'm not mistaken, NFL referees are the only professional sport officials that aren't full time.
It's because it's one a week for 17 weeks.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, but I'm with you. But even the poor referees on a part-time basis, they continue to grade poor. They don't get invited back.
Well, I think it would help. I do.
I'm not arguing with you, but I think there needs to be more than just making them all full time.
I don't want to see a bunch of laser beams. The sky judge, okay, you want to experiment with that? I think that's fine.
Laser beams?
Well, yeah, like for first downs.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, ask that guy that had his leg snapped in 18 places in New Orleans the other day. That chain gang's going away.
Why?
There's a better way to measure 10 yards.
Dude.
Yeah, index cards.
It's the first time that I can remember that's ever happened.
Yeah.
In the whole history of the NFL.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Part-time guy, no insurance.
Going away.
Yeah. That's going to be brutal. Let's talk to Indy Kalu. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you need to go see my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Itonado complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. And Price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Itonado complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Hebner.
Wemby, man, the hype is insane. I love the guy. I love his game. I love him playing for that coach. I love him in that community. And I think it's a great thing.
It's the Jim Rome Show, where Wemby and Rome rule. Weekdays at noon.
Hey, Jim Rome here.
Have a take, San Antonio. And certainly do not suck.
Man, nervous.
It's the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the UFC fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Celebrating 10 years in business, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
If you're trying to make the NBA in-season tournament more exciting to watch, it's the knockout stage of that in-season tournament. Easiest way to do that is download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com, get signed up, and play their pick'em game. And when you sign up, use my promo code STAR, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. Plus, new customers will have a mystery special pick live in their pick'em lobby. I love playing the pick'em game where you pick between 2 and 5 players, and all you have to do is select whether they will be higher or lower their predicted stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It is a fantasy game, but you can win real cash money, and it is legal in the state of Texas. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Promo code STAR when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com or download the Underdog Fantasy app.
Happy holidays from your neighbors at El Guacamole Mexican Grill. Place your breakfast or lunch order today. Visit them at 250-20 Blanco or call 210-499-5364. Hot, fresh, made-to-order Mexican dishes. El Guacamole Mexican Grill.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
I have lots of fragrance lovers on my list, and Ulta Beauty has all I need to add joy to their holiday season. Shop your favorite fragrances from YSL, Carolina Herrera, Valentino, and Ariana Grande's new exclusive Cloud Pink scent. Plus, with a fragrance purchase of $70 or more, get a plush robe or throw, valued at $70, while supplies last. Shop the gifts that bring joy to everyone on your list this holiday season, especially you. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful.
Imagine getting ahead of your irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C by treating it with Linzess. Then you could start proactively managing your constipation with belly pain and get ahead of your symptoms. Talk to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Texas, the Powerball jackpot is over $400 million. Buy official Texas lottery tickets right from your phone at jackpot.com. Get a free ticket with your first play. Go to jackpot.com. Jackpot.com.
Paid for by jackpot.com. You must be 18 or older to order a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's the Mike McCarthy Show every Friday morning at 6:45 and 9 with R&R in the morning.
Do you like a certain amount of chaos?
Conflict is good.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess I do. I like healthy chaos. I don't like the BS.
A look at the Cowboys' upcoming game, presented by AA Best Bail bail bonds. And 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Tuesdays are always great because we get to visit with Indy Kalu, who joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Indy, how's your Tuesday?
It's good. I was getting concerned when y'all didn't call. I was like, man, what did I say last week to piss him off? But I guess Joe just doesn't understand how that clock works in radio. So
that's
it.
Blame Joe.
Yes.
You know how that goes. Well, you know what? We were debating NFL officiating, and you're a great person to ask this as somebody that played in the league for a long time. You watch it, so you understand what it's like on the field. Is NFL officiating worse now, or do we just have more of a spotlight on it because we get to watch so many games, different camera angles, and social media immediately, even if it's a game we're not watching, we're hearing about a missed call?
It's absolutely worse now. And specifically, and I'm a little, you know what, I'm going to quit saying that I'm biased because I'm a former defensive player. If you know anything about football, if you know how to put on a jockstrap, you understand that these calls against defensive players is ridiculous. I mean, don't even really get me started, but I think it's worse. But I don't know if I blame the refs or if I blame the NFL for setting the tone and telling the refs that they have to call certain calls. You know, and it's not even just the infractions against the quarterback. If you're a defensive back and a quarterback underthrows a ball and you're running full speed defending literally one of the fastest human beings on earth. I mean, that's what wide receivers are. They're the top 1% fastest human beings on earth. And because the quarterback underthrows a ball, that receiver stops and you bump into him. Like it's just ridiculous. They have to find a way during the off season to make this right because it just doesn't make sense. And you know what pisses? Look, y'all shouldn't have got me started.
Here we go.
This is my last.
Here we go.
Here's what really pisses me off when it comes to the penalties against the defensive players hitting the quarterback, and where they're saying, oh, he should have adjusted where he was hitting, and they show it in slow motion. So then the casual fan who doesn't understand the concept of slow motion is saying, oh, yeah, he had enough time to redirect his target point. It's like, no, dumbass, that's slow motion. You can't do that when it's full speed. So, yeah, I apologize. You got me heated because it really bothers me when defensive players are just trying to do their job and they're getting penalized for what we would have considered a great play just 10 years ago.
Well, and that's the shame of it, honestly. And I know player safety is important and all of that stuff, but it is football, right? And I think you knew going in, hey, football's a rough sport. I might get hurt. There's that chance, but I'm going to play anyway because I love the game. And I'm with you. I don't know what a defensive back does these days. I really don't, because you breathe on a guy and you get a flag. It's crazy.
It's nuts, and you're right. Every player knows. I have this prayer before every game that I strapped up. God, please allow me the power to be able to take my pads off when the game's over, because you understand that you're playing a very rough sport to the point where, you know, God forbid, you may get paralyzed out there. Like, you understand that. So, yes, I'm okay, especially with having kids that play football, trying to make the game safer. But there's some things you just can't do. Like, there's just some things. There are no rule that you could put in place to make it foolproof or safe-proof or, injury-proof is, I guess, the term I should be using. It's just an inherent part of the game. And with the DBs, I mean, God bless them, because but here's what bothers me. Now they have John Runyon, Troy Vincent, James Thrash, all these guys on the committee, the fine committee. You know what all those guys have in common? I played with them, and I have nothing but respect for those guys. And for them to be handing down the fines and the punishment, it really hurts me, because I'm like, man, we all played together. Like, we know how rough this sport is. And now y'all are going to sit on the other side and take money out of these guys' pockets because they played the game the way we played it back in the 90s and early 2000s. It's gotten to the point, especially on the collegiate level, when they kick a guy out of the game, many of times now I've literally turned the game off. Now, I know NBC isn't saying, oh my God, Indy Kalu's not watching the rest of the game, we have to do something. But it's not even about me trying to make a statement. It bothers me so much they've taken all the joy out of the game where I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to watch Ugly Betty reruns because I can't watch this game anymore.
Indy Kalu joining us here on the Blitz. I want to go back to fines for a moment because you mentioned a lot of those were your teammates. J.J. Watt is constantly on Twitter talking about how the NFL is robbing these players with these massive fines for even plays that weren't even called a penalty on the field. I mean, I can't imagine, I don't know, maybe it just feels like the officiating, but because of social media, we hear more about these fines than we ever did before, or are fines up in the NFL?
No, they are up, and God bless J.J. Watt for doing the Lord's work with what he's tweeting out there and what he's putting out there. And he's a guy that easily, because whatever he wants from the NFL, they'll give him, so he can just tote the company line and, say, hey, these guys just have to learn how to play in today's game. So I really do appreciate a voice like J.J. Watt, arguably a top 10 defensive player of all time, regardless of position, letting his millions of followers or fans, I don't know what you call it on social media, know that this isn't right. But I do think the fines are going up. And again, when all those guys in the offseason are sitting around the rule committee, it pains me that somebody isn't saying, hey, Troy, come on now. Like, literally, that's all they need to say. They don't even need to say, hey, this is wrong because they should just say, Troy, come on now. Like, really, is this what we're doing? Like, the fact that they haven't been challenged, that's what really bothers me about some of these former players.
So, Indy, I've got to ask you, if you're on the sideline, you just tackled a guy and a security guard gets in your face, are you just going to step back and say, it's okay? Did you see that with the Philly-San Francisco game?
Not only did I see that, so that guy's name is Dom, and he was there when I was in Philly as a security guard. He's a great dude. Like, he's the guy that if me and Jason are at the strip club and we snort too many lines off the strippers' behinds and we need a way home, he's the guy that says, Jason and D, y'all stay right there. I'll make sure the police don't find out, and I'll get y'all home and it doesn't hit the news. Like he's a Mr. Fix-It. He has the players' safety, the players' well-being, the players' reputation first. Great, great, great dude. Every team should have a Dom, but he absolutely should not have been anywhere near that play. Like that's something you let the refs separate. You let the players separate them. I think because he's such a protective figure and he's been that way for over 20 years, he saw one of his guys that he felt was wrong, and his natural instinct was to step in, but he was wrong for that.
Dom's a legend in Philadelphia.
Oh, he's a legend. He's the man.
Well, they both got tossed, but I don't think it really hurt Philly all that much.
You know what? I think you're onto something right there, but well, something hurt Philly because San Francisco, man, credit the 49ers. Oh, my goodness. They came in there and punk slapped them.
Yeah, they did. And again, Eagles, Cowboys this week. Now all of a sudden, first place in the NFC East on the line as we visit with the great Indy Kalu, former Eagle, former Texan, Texans TV analyst. And I got to say, man, I know you guys, Texans beat Cincinnati. I thought that win Sunday over Denver might have been their most impressive win of the year because it wasn't C.J. Stroud that had to win that game. It was the Texans defense creating some takeaways in that fourth quarter to preserve the win. I thought that might have been the most impressive win of the year for Houston.
No, that's a great point. I mean, CJ was CJ, still playing top-notch as a rookie, but, when you get a guy like Jimmy Ward coming off injury and then he makes the biggest play or the one that's going to last in your memory the longest because it's the last interception to secure the win, then Derek Stingley, people started whispering, is this a bust? Were the Texans wrong in taking him with the number 3 overall pick? And he says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get 4 interceptions in the last 3 games, and I'm going to have 2 against Russell Wilson. So you saw other guys step up. Will Anderson, to me, has been having a rookie defensive player of the year type season, but the casual fan wants to see the sacks. So he said, okay, hold my Gatorade. Here goes 2 sacks for you. And Jonathan Grenard says, hey, don't forget about me. I'm the one leading the team in sacks. And, he shows that he's still productive with his sack and his pressure. But you're right, Jason. The story and the victory wasn't about C.J. Stroud. It was about Nico Collins, 9 yards away from a 200-yard game. Brevin Jordan, who's been somewhat disappointing with Schultz being out, he steps up and has a big game. It was a true team effort against a hot team that was on a 5-game win streak, and Russell Wilson was starting to look somewhat like the old Russell Wilson. So I'm with you. I mean, I don't know if it was the biggest win, but that was a huge win for the Texans.
Well, good for Houston. Russell Wilson finally remembered he was Russell Wilson again. And no, he had a pretty good game. Indy, I mean, all of a sudden, though, the AFC South is pretty tough. I mean, I don't want anybody to get hurt, but, Trevor Lawrence gets hurt last night. Jacksonville loses that game. You've got Indianapolis and Houston now just a game back. I mean, that's going to be an exciting race to the finish.
If you talk about Trevor Lawrence, this is why, and I know I'm a little off topic, I apologize, but this is why this will be the last year I do fantasy football. The guy I was going against
You're
this week,
such a liar.
I was down.
Don't lie to the
no,
people.
it is.
Don't
it is
lie to
because
the people.
I felt like a jerk, and y'all are going to see why in about 10 seconds. So I was down 11 points, but Trevor Lawrence was my quarterback. So I had, it gives you this algorithm, I had an 80% chance of winning. But he was slow to get me those 11 points. He finally got it, so I was going to secure the victory. And I literally thought to myself, after the 1 point over I was against my opponent, okay, good, he could get hurt now, and I don't care. And when he got hurt, I looked back at my score just to make sure I was above. I was still going to win the fantasy football for the week. And I was like, you know what? I don't care, and it helps the Houston Texans with the AFC South race, and that makes me a jerk, a horrible person, and that's why. But it does make the AFC South that much more obtainable and that much more competitive because it's not just the Houston Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts. They're in the thick of things, and like you mentioned, the AFC South. They're one of only 2 divisions where 3 teams have winning records. So it's going to be a dogfight to the end.
And to clarify, you did end up winning your game by 1, right?
Well, I ended up winning by 12.
Oh.
So, yeah, I was pretty – because he got hurt, he scored 10 more points. He had a decent game. Right. And it's not a serious injury. I would not be saying that if he tore his ACL.
I mean, Indy, you were rooting for injuries. I understand. I mean, I get it. You were honest. You're that guy.
Wait a minute. I want to go back a little bit. I want to clarify this Saturday night at the strip club with the lines off the butt. I mean, I need to hear more about this.
All the comments on YouTube are trying to clarify. In fact, Rudy J from our morning show, that was too organic of a statement. Jimenez says, Joshua Jimenez says, had one hell of a Saturday night. I mean, it wasn't in Philadelphia. It was Sugars, but I mean, it was a good night.
Look, me and Jason, we from San Antonio. That's how we roll.
We go way back. We go way back.
I'm just sad I wasn't invited. I mean, geez.
Next time.
Oh, this was way back. This was back during our backfighting days. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, Indy, as a teammate, whether it's true or not, the fact that these stories came out as the Texans get ready to take on the Jets, that the MILF Hunter originally said, "Nah, coach, you can't come back to me. I'm not going to go back and play." As a teammate. Now, apparently,
allegedly,
but the stories are out there. Zach Wilson now will play this week. He's willing to go earn his paycheck. If you're a teammate, do you look at that guy and just want to slap him?
Wait, all seriousness, I don't know what you're talking about. So fill me in. What happened with this?
There were reports early Monday that the Jets were going to go back to Zach Wilson, and the initial report from Diana Rossini of The Athletic is that Zach Wilson was reluctant to take the starting job back for fear of injury.
Wow.
And then by the time Robert Saleh had his press conference, Zach had changed his mind. He was going to go back and reclaim the starting job.
Now, there are people disputing that report, but that is the report.
You know what? I don't like to jump in and talk about a rumor or a report as if it's gospel, as if it's true. But I will say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And even if it didn't go down just like that, I want a quarterback where if he loses his starting position, yes, that sucks. It hurts your pride. But if he has any opportunity, any chance to regain it back, it's not even a question. Like, there's not even a way to even put a report out there that he was reluctant because he didn't want to get injured. I wanted to have that guy that you almost had to tell him, hey, you're hurting us by going out there, but I appreciate your willingness to go out there. So I'll say this. the fact that that rumor can even be developed, even if it's not 100% true, that's a bad look, and it's going to be very, very hard for him to regain the trust of his teammates, especially the tough guys on the defensive side of the ball. Like we like to see the quarterback who doesn't do the smart thing and just run out of bounds. You know, he lowers his shoulder, and you almost have to tell him, "Hey, man, chill out. We need you." But you don't want a guy that's like, you know what? I don't know if I want to play because I'm butthurt or I'm afraid of getting hurt.
Well, and Diana Rossini doubling down. And again, she's not Carissa Thompson, right? I mean, she's reputable. She says multiple members of the organization, players, staff, and coaches is where she had that timeline. He didn't want to go out there in part because of fear of potential injury risk, because obviously he's going to be looking for a new job next year. So she's doubling down that, yeah, this is a true story.
Yeah, and again, I'll say this: when I retired from the NFL and started working with the media, I was surprised at how accurate a lot of reports were.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, like, man, how did y'all get that information? That was only discussed in the locker room.
Well, I didn't realize you. That's how you got in the media.
I'm not the rat. I am not the rat.
You never know.
Even though I outed us going to Sugars and doing what we did with strippers, I am not the rat. But so for her to say that, there's definitely something to that, which is concerning regarding your quarterback.
Well, ND, when you write that book, pal, I'll be the first to read it.
You better put in a lot of pictures. Always good stuff, Indy. Have a great week.
All right, y'all too. Talk to y'all next week.
Appreciate it. Indy Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It is crazy. December 5th, we are 20 days away from Christmas. New Year's is right around the corner. All the holiday parties, all the festivities, all the family get-togethers. None of you are planning on getting arrested, but some of you will. Especially this time of year, happens to all kinds of people for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know, excuse me, the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, you know if you get arrested, your best option is AA Best Bail Bonds for stress-free bail bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys and Eagles. Nothing better on a Sunday night beginning at 6.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught at the 45, 40, Pollard, 20. Good night, nurse.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Wendy's Peppermint Frosty and Frosty Cream Cold Brew make the perfect gift for anyone in your life, especially for you. Yeah, this year you're sitting on your own lap and getting yourself what you want. Finally. And now every day this season, unlock 20% off your total when you get any small, medium, or large Frosty in the Wendy's app. So order something from your own wish list this year.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's with app offer and registration. Applies to menu items only. Taxes and fees excluded.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket. Just like our customer, Jaron.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
It's the Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rind Appreciation Day celebration. Enter to win $5,000 cash, tailgating prizes, plus Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds when you pass the pigskin. Enter at porkrindappreciationday.com. That's porkrindappreciationday.com. And make sure to pick up the protein-packed, bold flavors of Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds today at ATV.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have a lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the 10 Cup Bar. It's the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of SA, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
When you or someone you know is going through the process of being accused of a crime, you need a team to help you protect your innocence. Who better to fight for you than former prosecutors, now defense lawyers, that know the justice system? The LaHood Norton Law Group will defend your freedom. When you choose us, you choose honest, aggressive, trusting, expert, and fearless representation. If you need help, you need the LaHood Norton Law Group on your side.
My name is Susan. Not long ago, I was in poor health. I had a fatty liver. My thyroid was out of whack. I was pre-diabetic. My knees hurt, and I was on cholesterol meds. I'm now down 43 pounds. People say to me all the time, you look so thin. I've gone from a size 18 to a size 10. I feel much better and can walk 2.5 miles without pain. Dr. Torres changed my life.
I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. Call me for your free consultation at 468-1891.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
On your ride to work, check out Rob Thompson and Rudy J. They're R&R in the morning. KTFM Floresville and at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, we all saw it last night. Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence sustained a right high ankle sprain. His team lost to Cincinnati last night. Injury not expected to require surgery. In fact, Doug Peterson says he's not going to rule him out for this Sunday. We'll see. Cowboys have a chance to clinch a playoff spot with a win over the Eagles. Eagles can do the same with a win over the Cowboys. 49ers can do the same with a win over Seattle and some other things.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Tuesday afternoon.
Howdy.
That was kind of weak.
I'm kind of liking that Aggie greeting.
That was weak, though.
Howdy. Howdy.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Can we hear Elko? Maybe. Well, if you don't have it instant, just wave it off. I don't know how that's not instantly on the page. Never mind. Don't look for Elko. Well, I tell you what, if you want to look for coaches' comments
Pay attention to what Willie Fritz has been saying down at the University of Houston. And then connect those dots to what Jeff Traylor wants at UTSA. Now, we had a wonderful conversation with Jeff Traylor yesterday.
We did, yeah.
You can go back and listen to it, sasportstar.com, hit the audio vault, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. But you go and just find some of the video clips of Willie Fritz now that he's the head coach at the University of Houston. He had a comment, and I'm paraphrasing. I've been at places that talked about doing here. There's already shovels in the ground. Their new complex, all lonely. I mean, there was a whole lot of, man, I am glad I'm out of that mess and somewhere where they actually are doing what they are saying. You know, you look at UTSA. I don't know that it is any bit of a surprise, but Trey Moore today hits the transfer portal. That is a kid that is going to cash in and can play anywhere in the country. He could start right now at Alabama. He could start at Texas. He could start anywhere he wants to. And he could have left last year, but he stayed. He's not staying a second year. And I've got to believe that when Jeff Traylor was on with us yesterday saying he was dealing with one right now, it had to be Trey Moore.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. Look, who was it? Matt Rule the other day that says it costs $1 million to $2 million to get a quarterback these days. The money's out there from these bigger schools, and that's an issue. We've talked about that. It's a speed bump that UTSA has to deal with. They just don't have the same kind of money that some of these other schools do. And what's irritating about what's happening here, and I wish we would just call it like it is, and maybe it's going to that with the new rules proposal that the NCAA has made. Just call it free agency, but make it a free agent period. This portal that just willy-nilly guys can leave anytime they want to. It's unfair to everybody.
No, in fairness, there is a portal window and it opened up on Monday. And there's a time period in which the portal is open.
And it will be open again in about 6 months.
It opens twice.
Yes.
Right. So, and what you have now, and this might be very well what Trey Moore is doing. I know for sure this is what Cam Ward is doing from Washington State, is you're going through the process of what the NFL might offer you. And you get your draft grade where they think you are likely to be drafted, and then you can make a decision.
Yeah, but how old is Trey Moore? Is he old enough to go to the NFL?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
He's so I think especially this time of year, you get a ton of guys that are going to, all right, whatever the draft grade is, whatever that advice is with you and your team. And, probably, I would imagine Jeff Traylor, hey, Trey, if that's what they're telling you, you're going to go second round, third round, you got to go. Seventh round, maybe undrafted. Know that you're in college. Go take the gazillion dollars that you're going to get from School X. I know that that's what Cam Ward is doing. Last year, Cam Ward went through the draft process. They told him what he needed to work on. He went back to Washington State. So this year, he's going to go through the draft process again, see what that grade is, and look at the NIL offers that he has, and he's going to make a decision. That's the college.
But he didn't enter the portal because he didn't have an option. Trey Moore. I can't imagine that he hit the portal today. I mean, somebody's been offering him something.
Well, I mean,
he's got options out there. There's no way he just hit the portal to wait and see. Now with Cam Ward, I think that's a different story. But I'd bet the ranch that Trey Moore has got something.
Sure. No, that's what I'm saying though.
In hand.
But he might not take it. Whatever school it is, it's either what are they offering? Because now that he's officially in the portal, I imagine his offers are going up. You could always come back, or you go to the NFL draft. And it puts these college coaches in such a bad spot because, like Cephas announced today that he is going to play in the bowl game. A little surprised by that because he's also going to go through the draft process. A lot of guys don't want to play in the bowl games, especially the meaningless bowl games. When I say meaningless, if you're not in the playoffs, then, like Caleb Williams, I ain't going to go play in the bowl. But if they think they could get drafted, they're not going to put themselves at risk for injury during a bowl game. So I'm excited that Cephas is going to play one more time with Frank Harris.
And I'll just say this, and this, well, maybe it is disrespectful to some, but you got teammates that you care about.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal for UTSA. And he's been a part of that team for a long time. So you know what? He says, I'm gonna see the journey through.
Which I appreciate.
It's not all about me. I'm gonna see the journey through for you guys and then let the chips fall where they may. So I applaud him for doing that.
I appreciate it. I applaud it. And I wish there was something that schools could do, because I think I think the bowl games are hurt, and your teammates. More importantly, your teammates.
That's it.
You know, now I understand the business aspect of it. Why risk injury if you're trying to go to the NFL? I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if that game meant something, you would play, because it doesn't mean anything. You don't want to put yourself at risk. I understand that personal aspect of it, but as a teammate, somebody that you've been battling with, you finish it through. I like how you just said that. Finish that journey through. That's the way it should be.
But it absolutely should be. And look, again, and I know I've been on this train, and the players should be paid. That's fine. I get that. But this portal thing has got to be fixed. And I think you just you allow this thing to be the NFL. You pay players, let the schools do it, and let them make money. But there's got to be a limit on the transfer portal. Jeff Traylor said as much yesterday, and he had a great idea about the 5-year window. Look, if your coach leaves, you can leave. But for these guys just to willy-nilly, just once a year, start transferring all over the place, to me, is just it's silly.
Well, they get the one transfer, and then they can be a grad transfer.
Well, I get that, but I mean, it's silly. So, what has happened with Trey Moore? And go get your money, young man. That's fine. I'm sure that's what Jeff Traylor told him. But who developed this kid? He wasn't this prospect when he came out of Smithson Valley.
No.
He was developed by Jeff Traylor and the UTSA Roadrunners, and now somebody else is going to get the benefit of that.
That's the problem with the Group of 5 school. That's going to continue to be a problem with the Group of 5 schools. All the great players that are at a Group of 5 that are dealing with universities that have funds the level of what UTSA is at, they can't keep up with the Joneses, if you will. They just can't.
No.
So it's happening here, and it's going to continue happening. You know, and I asked Jeff Traylor about Zachary Franklin yesterday. I didn't realize Zachary was upset that Coach Traylor had brought his name up in a negative way, but you know, Zachary Franklin is a prime example of the grass isn't always greener, but the money that he got is certainly green and in his bank account. It might not have been the college experience that he was hoping for, but the paycheck, that deposit, is still in his bank account.
Well, I mean, and look, and I don't know, you know, if he had this opportunity before UTSA or not, but the fact that you can leave UTSA and then all of a sudden go to the big time at Ole Miss in the middle of the SEC. They always have a pretty decent football program, and you're playing big time college football in front of 100,000 people every Saturday afternoon. I mean, that's a big deal on top of the money that he was offered, and the figures that we've heard are astronomical. And you know, how do you tell a young man no?
Exactly.
When it comes to that. But again, it looks like the new president of the NCAA is trying to do something, and I hope they get something done, because the money's one thing, but this transfer portal is just completely out of control.
What Charlie Baker has proposed, and it was a rule change he proposed today, that would allow Division I schools pay their athletes not tied to educational resources. Now, he's got it at $30,000 a year per player. Now,
per athlete
overall.
athlete.
Well, that's it, because with Title IX,
right,
your football players and your soccer players, everybody's going to get the same. And so you take the number of athletes at UTSA. What do they have? 15 sports? How many athletes that is? 30,000 per athlete.
Yeah,
you're talking about millions and millions of dollars. I've kind of compared it in the past that, like, when my daughter was at Sam Houston State, she had a job working for the university, got a paycheck from the university. She did the same thing in her first master's program at Arizona State, she worked for the university, got a paycheck from the university. They do that with other students. Why can't they do that with student athletes?
Well, it's just unfortunate that the NCAA didn't have the leadership that they have now, because all of this nonsense could have been fixed beforehand. Players have been asking to get paid for years. And if you would have just done something, I don't think we get to the point to where we're at now.
And I think NIL, the unintended consequence, the original was you can make a little bit of money. And these guys are going to make a little bit of money. I don't know that any of the people, when they put in NIL, were thinking that we were going to be getting college athletes $1 million for a quarterback.
It's outrageous.
I think they were all thinking they'll get a couple grand. All these boosters, they can't be that foolish with their money. They'll, what does Jeff Traylor say? They can get a car payment and pay their phone bill.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's what most thought it was going to be, not this mega amounts of money for all these athletes with no salary cap.
Yeah, when are boosters going to get tired of that and stop contributing? I mean, I don't know. I mean, even the richest guy in the world shelling out, $2-3 million a year. I mean, after a while,
I look at places like Texas A&M, SMU. I don't think they're going to get tired of it. What I worry about is in San Antonio, when our best players continue to leave for the Power Five that have been getting money from local boosters, when do they get tired of it? When is enough for the local collective groups that don't have the, we got a group of 35 billionaires from the oil and gas industry. We don't have that here.
No, and there's got to be rules. There has to be some guardrails to this thing eventually, or it's going to get, it's already out of hand. It's going to get completely out of hand.
On Thursday night, Joe and I are going to be in Boston as we head up for Army-Navy Radio Row this week on Thursday. We're going to be in Boston, so we won't be at the Frost Bank Center. You can be at the Frost Bank Center with Adam Sandler on Thursday night, the I Missed You tour. Coming up Thursday night. If you don't have your tickets, they are available at livenation.com, or they could be yours right now. If you're caller number 9, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller number 9, you win a pair of tickets to go see Adam Sandler Thursday night at the Frost Bank Center.
Hey, it's going to be cold when we get to Boston. There's no question about it. I saw the weather forecast. But look, winter's coming here to San Antonio as well, and you certainly don't want to be left out in the cold if your heater or your furnace goes out. Call Woods Comfort Systems today, and you're going to get the royal treatment. Ask them how you can receive up to $3,200 in federal tax credits and utility rebates when you purchase a new qualifying Lennox system. They're also still doing that furnace check for $67 to celebrate their 67th anniversary in business. That's crazy. Call them. Take advantage of that. 877-324-6902. 877-324-6902. Or you can get them online at woodscomfortsystems.com. I want to tell you again, I grew up with the Woods family in my hometown of Alice, Texas. I trust them. They're good people, and they've been in business for 67 years. They got to be doing something right. They're going to treat you right. 877-324-6902 or online at woodscomfortsystems.com.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys and Eagles. Nothing better on a Sunday night beginning at 6.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught at the 45, 40, Pollard, 20. Good night, nurse.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're looking for a place to go watch the Army-Navy game on Saturday, get into the Roof up there at 281 and Redland Road. Whether it's the Spurs playing, I know there's a big fight on Saturday night, the NFL on Sunday. You want to watch a big game? For over a decade, the Rupo has proven to be the place to go watch any big event with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And I've said many times, when you go into the Rupo, go hungry, because the food, outstanding, all made from scratch right there. They got the biggest and best wings in town. They got about 15 different burgers on that menu, including the original Wemby burger. Great appetizers, great salads, and that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. So when you need that late night meal, Don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Smoker's Paradise, your premium smoke shop. Fully stocked to shop everything you need for your smoking needs under one roof. Vaporizers, disposable e-cigarettes, hookah accessories, water pipe, cigars, and more. With 16 area locations, including the newest at 8214 FM 78. Visit smokersparadise.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
The holiday season is right around the corner, so give the gift that's hard to wrap, but easy to give. Give them a Steel. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Steel Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $20 on the VGA 57 battery-powered blower. Visit your local Steel dealer or go to steelusa.com/gift guide. Real Steel. Find yours. Now $179.99 was $199.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Life moves fast. No one has time for a car, truck wreck, or commercial vehicle accident. At Davis Law Firm, we get it. When you call the force, you don't have to worry about insulting offers from insurance adjusters, property damage, or car rental. We recently settled a wrongful death case in a commercial vehicle accident for $5 million. Net to clients was $2.8 million. I'm Jeff Davis. If you were in a car, truck wreck, or hit by a commercial vehicle, call me at 444-4444. You got it. There's only one number to remember. 4. Attorney consultation by appointment only. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio. Davis Law Firm is a proud official partner, personal injury attorney of the San Antonio Spurs.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Check out the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
If you're San Antonio, there are benefits that come along with it. I will cut you the front of the line. We're going to hype the return.
On 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jay Semenix. Glad to have you along on this Tuesday afternoon.
What is that music? That's good music. Who plays that?
Pascal Letoublon.
Who?
Pascal Letoublon.
I've heard that on a movie or something. Is that a movie theme song?
Are they scanning your face?
Maybe. No, that's boom chicka wow wow.
Good Lord.
That's the face scan. I know I've heard that song somewhere before on and I know you play it from time to time on the show here, but it seems
Would you hear that from one of the bands at Picks?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a movie or a TV
Was
something.
Tyrone Corbin in that movie?
I mean, honestly, stop.
There should have been.
Although somehow I think Reinego's going to end up with some bootleg Corbin jersey as a Christmas gift from one of our listeners.
Yeah, probably so.
He played for
Jeez.
what? How many teams did he play for?
A lot.
I know he played here probably, I don't know, 7-8 teams, because isn't he still coaching?
My understanding, or he was, I think it was with Charlotte at one time or the last time.
It might still be.
Could be. But when that happened, he was playing for Utah. And that's back when the Spurs had a pretty good rivalry with the Jazz. Karl Malone days, John Stockton, Jeff Hornacek, those guys. So,
And you remember Tyrone Corbin.
Well, dude, I will never forget that. It's emblazed in my brain. Are you kidding me? And I was just a young fella back then, naive apparently.
Somehow that dude is going to get a copy of this. And his ego is going to be inflated.
Oh man. I'm sure he knows. I mean, I'm not going to tell him anything he doesn't know. He had a stick. I mean, it was just fun. Hey, God bless him,
Speaking of, if you've done any grilling, every Thursday we judge meat.
Where do I stick my meter?
Pledge is wanting me to answer that question, aren't you? In the thickest part.
Yes. I've got that down. I got no problem with that.
I don't think you should say that on radio.
I mean, probably. Well, yeah. Probably.
So on Thursday, if you've done some grilling, make sure you upload those photos to sasportstar.com, the Grilling with the Blitz page, because we'll give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market's Hebner Road
need more
location.
meat between my buns.
Like those good brisket burgers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brisket burgers.
Yes.
I got to figure out what I'm doing for Christmas, because I need to go down there and see the fellas.
I'll tell you what. I know they're already taking orders for prime rib.
Yeah, so
if you're thinking prime rib,
I may have to do that.
It's your specialty.
It is.
It's what you're known for.
Well, that and my brisket's getting pretty good too.
Yeah, but actually, I've never done a prime rib.
You need to do it. I mean, it's not.
Well, the problem is, I mean, there's two of us.
Well,
if I do a prime rib, I need.
You got Pledge drooling over here as we speak. So there's actually 3 of you.
Can only imagine what you do to season that thing.
Know where I thought you were going to go with that. I just knew there was some sort of meter comment coming in. By the way, if you're in the grilling, meter, wonderful.
It really is. Those things are really good. Because I kind of got tired of the Traeger one. It just didn't seem to work as well as the meter does.
Yes, the meter one's the best one.
It's fantastic. Yeah, if you know somebody that grills, get them that for Christmas.
Yeah,
it's a great Christmas gift.
Absolutely. Now, the meter I have is the simple one, $428 if Joanna's driving home. The one that I really want now is the one that is Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
that technology. There's like a 4-pack of them. But there's more to it than the one I have.
Well, we must have the same one.
Well, you and I have the same one, because literally when you got your Traeger, you came over to my house and got everything that I have. Right?
Yeah, well, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got the app and all, right?
Yeah, I've got the app, but there's an upgraded one with the more sophisticated block. Like, the problem with the meter that I have is if I leave to go to the store and I'm not within range, it quits telling me what's going on.
That's right.
Right. So the Traeger one comes in handy kind of as your backup.
Yeah.
But the other one, the other block is I can be anywhere.
And
and you
cool.
know, so it's,
wow.
I mean,
I want that too.
So Joanna, text Maggie.
Yes.
Order 2 and save.
Y'all get together.
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Prime rib sounds good. I have to go down and see my friends at Tri-County.
Absolutely. But the prime ribs and I want to say they're tenderloin. They're already taking the orders for that.
Okay. Joe will take care of me.
Oh, you think? Huh?
Of course he will.
Uh-huh.
Come on. He always does.
Well, and again, except for if there was a big run on things, you know,
Joe will
like
take care of me.
so many people. Well, I mean,
you know, Joe, the other day I just called him and said, Joe, I need a brisket.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. I'll put it in the back.
That's what he does.
Bam, just like that.
I mean, when we tell you they're full service, they're full service.
They are,
That's
man.
what they do. They don't do that just for Joe Reinagel.
No, they don't?
No.
Oh.
I mean, you're special and all.
Well, yeah.
But
I don't think he told me that, but I love those guys down there.
You're using a different meaning of special, aren't you?
no.
No. Look what Fred says. He says, Corbin,
What?
actually my friend's uncle. He used to hook us up with tickets when he was coach. Huh.
You got to text a friend that story. See?
Yeah.
Corbin's going to find out that he's got it at long-time admirer and one Joe Reinagel. Emphasis on long.
I'm not sure it was an admirer. It just scared the hell out of me.
It didn't scare you.
No, it really did.
It's an admirer.
Did. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I like it thick.
I mean, everything's kind of coming together all of a sudden.
What the hell does that mean?
Every drop that Pledge has.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's all coming together.
Dude, don't sit there and judgmental and say that's never happened to you. You just told me it did.
Well, yeah, I've got stories too. I just can't remember what player.
Uh-huh.
I think I know who it is, but I don't want to say because, you know.
Why, you think he's listening?
No, but I don't want to. I mean, if I'm going to credit somebody with that kind of honor, I want to make sure it's the right guy.
It's really just an honor for the guy. I mean, I was just
I mean, it's a humble brag.
Well,
I mean, you heard the Kelsey brothers were talking about locker room etiquette on their podcast, right?
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, there was something about being in a locker room.
From Noel Randall via email. Why are reporters allowed in the locker room? Do they at least give you a warning before they come in so players can cover their hairy buns and stuff?
Hairy buns.
Jason, I haven't seen your ass in a while, but you got some hairy buns.
Carpet matches the drapes. For sure, hairy.
Yeah, we're just hairy people.
Yeah.
Big Eddie's definitely got hairy buns. This is a fantastic question.
Yeah.
They do actually give us a warning after the game's over, after like meetings and everything. They give everybody, I think, like 10 to 15 minutes to kind of get situated, get dressed.
Yep.
I'm not sure why they just make it like a free locker.
Well, they can only have so many guys go to the podium. So I think the media wants this time period so they have a chance to talk to every guy essentially that played in the game. Is it weird having people in a locker room? I don't think it's weird.
The only time I feel like it's weird is if you're like ass naked next to the guy's locker that's getting interviewed.
I don't know. I think I've just been naked in front of enough people at this point that I don't think it's really that weird. I thought it was weird in high school when guys would wear like bathing suits into the showers.
That was weird.
That was weird. Get naked. We're all going to get naked now. It's not weird. You're making it weird by not getting naked. Now what are you trying to hide? Just be naked.
Well, clearly they're
I
embarrassed.
don't remember guys wearing swimsuits in the shower
Me
in high
neither.
school. I really don't.
I don't remember
Wow.
that at all.
Okay.
Or underwear or anything like that.
I like Jason Kelsey.
Pledge was the guy wearing his tidy whities in the shower.
I remember people in the locker room doing that.
Yeah.
Jason
Was that
Kelsey,
you?
I like him.
Was that you?
It was not.
Bragger.
You like Jason Kelsey? He just doesn't give a damn.
He doesn't.
He really doesn't.
He doesn't.
I like that.
Locker rooms are full of exhibitionists.
Well, it happened live on TV. The good friends at WFAA in Dallas doing a live shot inside the locker room. That's why they don't do it anymore. I don't remember who the player was, and you could just see him walking right by, just swinging away.
It's a locker room.
And the reporter didn't have a clue.
No idea.
No clue.
Stop. Give him a little helicopter.
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, wow. Stop. That was a new sound effect from Joe.
It was. It wasn't.
That was my elephant. Hey, you understand where I'm going?
I don't think that's what elephants sound like.
It's not. But what do elephants sound like?
Not that.
Joe made it sound like a cockatoo or something.
I wasn't sure what that was.
Now you know.
When you look at NFL power rankings this week,
I'm glad you said power rankings. I know where you were going.
it is San Francisco number 1, and then a distant 2. Where are the Cowboys? Where does Jerry Jones think his Cowboys are? We'll dive into that next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I want to tell you about Parkhurst New Vision, though, and I tell you what, I'm so happy to brag on these people because of what they did for me. They've given me my eyesight back, literally. I can read things. I don't need readers. I don't need glasses. I don't need anything. Had lens replacement surgery several months ago, and I could not be happier. In fact, we are so happy as a family. My wife, Maggie, has scheduled an appointment to get her eyes done. She can't wait. I can't wait for her to be able to see the way that I can see now. And that can happen to you as well. Parkhurst New Vision is the absolute best. There is nobody better. All you have to do is give them a call, set up an appointment, make a consultation down there. They'll answer every question that you have. The number you need to call, 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. When you make your appointment, you go in there, just tell them your old buddy Joe from San Antonio Sports Star sent you down there. You're going to be very happy with the results. I am. I know my wife is going to be. They will completely change your life. Give Parkhurst New Vision a call, 210-585-2020.
It's R&R in the morning.
Wednesday on R&R in the morning, we hear from Cowboys owner and GM Jerry Jones. His thoughts on where Dak Prescott can get this team. Also, Silver and Black podcast at 7 a.m. Minnesota's in town.
Power rankings are out. We'll rank them top to bottom. And hey, this NBA tourney's kind of fun. Wait till Katie and LeBron get busy. Party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Here we go.
Here comes the Sandman,
Ladies and gentlemen.
Adam Sandler.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The I Missed You Tour.
Should we clap along? I'm going to play guitar a little bit for you.
Adam Sandler, live.
Take him away!
Frost Bank Center, December 7th.
All right, let's lose that. I hate it. Sorry.
Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The year might be coming to a close, but Indeed's end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Lab-grown diamond wholesale prices have crashed. Huge factories in China and India have flooded the market with tens of millions of carats of lab-grown diamonds. They are so cheap that jewelers are giving them away for free with purchase. Many companies sell 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for a few $100s, but some jewelers are still selling lab diamonds for thousands of dollars. Pawn shops and jewelry stores have instruments that detect lab-grown diamonds in seconds, and just like CZs, they are very cheap to produce, and after purchase, they have no monetary value at all. America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our customers that wholesale prices would fall to almost nothing. Now they are so cheap that jewelers are giving them away, and wholesale prices continue to fall. America's Diamond only offers traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have real value. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
A psoriasis flare-up can make a walk in the park, well, no walk in the park.
It's that obvious, huh? I've tried so many lotions and creams, but I still have symptoms.
So those don't do enough to treat the inflammation beneath the skin, leaving you with those uncontrolled symptoms.
Makes sense, but what else can I do?
You can get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Make an appointment and, oh, you're already on it.
Hi, yes, I'd like to make an appointment.
Get real about psoriasis.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Dell's Cyber Monday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's almost that time. Home for the holidays. Get your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year. Increase your chance of winning by also getting your friends entered socially. Make this holiday season the best ever. Just visit sasportstar.com and get signed up. One national winner could win up to $18,000 and pay their rent or mortgage in 2024. Official rules and sign up at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Tuesday afternoon. Big week for the Cowboys. Anytime it's Cowboys-Eagles week, it feels big. Recently.
And it is big. Yeah.
When it's the Giants that are good or the Washington, but you look where the Eagles are, although coming off a loss. Cowboys, a win, and a whole bunch of dominoes fall, they could actually clinch a playoff spot on Sunday.
They could. So can
could
Philly.
the Eagles, yeah.
So can San Francisco.
But it's interesting when you look at power rankings and looking at all the different websites. Cowboys in the power rankings, all the major websites, as high as 2 on Blogging the Boys, and I think 6 is the lowest I saw the Cowboys.
Yeah,
right?
the 2 on Blogging the Boys. Imagine that.
Go figure, right? Wow. I mean, the committee had to penalize Philadelphia for losing.
Of course.
But
so is RJ on the college football playoff committee?
Well, he's on the Blogging the Boys. Where am I going to put the Cowboys
exactly.
Committee? I don't even know if there's a committee. It might just be a committee of one Ochoa.
RJ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I say that. In the Jason Minix power rankings, you've got San Francisco and a distant second would probably still, in my mind, be Philadelphia.
I think it has to be just because of the teams that they've beaten over this stretch. Whether they played well or not, they found a way to win. And so I think it has to be.
I mean, now, will I change that if the Cowboys win on Sunday? Absolutely. I think I'd put the Cowboys ahead of Philadelphia.
Fair enough.
I can't right now because in their head-to-head matchup, Philadelphia won that game. And San Francisco blew out both of those teams. In my mind, those two teams clearly right now better than Dallas if you're doing power rankings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, don't tell that to Jerry Jones.
Well, I'm not saying it's clear. It may be clear to you, but it's not clear to me. I'm not so sure where that remains. I will say this. We sure have the opportunity. We've got the talent the way Dak is playing, and we've got the opportunity to win any game we play against either of those teams.
Right. I mean, he's right. That's not a false statement. They've got a chance every time they go on the field, but Philly's got a chance to win this game too. And
Sure.
So, I mean, it's, I get where Jerry's coming from. I mean, he's confident right now. His team's playing well. His quarterback's playing well. He's confident. I don't blame him.
Well, and he also said on 105.3 The Fan, while a lot of us look at San Francisco as the team that the Cowboys can't beat, Philly, can they? I mean, Jerry, and you just heard it, because the way Dak Prescott is playing right now, Jerry feels like the Cowboys can beat anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Well, I presume you're saying they being San Francisco and Philadelphia, but again, I just have respect for their team. Do I think that we have a chance to beat either one of those teams when we play them? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, we can. And I think we've got an outstanding chance here Sunday against Philadelphia. And I think it won't be the same game when we play any of these teams the second time. It never is. But do I expect all-out, the complete, just an NFL war to over-exaggerate? Yes, I do. Because they've got great players, both teams, San Francisco and Philadelphia. They've got outstanding players. They've got great coaching. But, guys, we do too. So that's what makes the ball game.
It does, and it's Philly and Dallas. They hate each other. I mean, let's face it. They don't like each other. So when they get together, it is a battle, and it should be a battle, and I'm hoping for a really good game. And I think it will be.
It's interesting because coming into this season, and the Cowboys, even back in August, back after the draft and the offseason that they had, they were considered a legit Super Bowl contender.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got destroyed by San Francisco, I think a lot of people backed off of that.
Sure.
From the national media standpoint. The Cowboys have played their way back into that conversation. But they've got to beat a Philadelphia to be considered a serious contender. It doesn't matter, again, about the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
It really is about the postseason, but you got to get there. But when you look at like Pro Football Talks power rankings, in the NFC, it's San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Dallas, because they got the Ravens and Dolphins in between those two, 3, 4. You got Detroit at 6. The Houston Texans, by the way, cracked the top 10 this week. They're at number 9.
How about that?
I mean, but what I find interesting, if you go by conference, coming in, we thought the AFC was just going to be this dominant conference this year. Is it? Or is there too much, for lack of better words, cannibalism over there? Or are those AFC teams just not as good as we thought they were going to be? Because some of the teams that we expected to be at the top aren't, for that matter.
I think overall, from top to bottom, it's better than the NFC. And I think that makes a difference.
NFC in my mind is top heavy.
Well, it is. There's 4 teams, right? I mean, you figure there's 4 teams that are there, and then everybody else is somewhere else.
Well, I think with Buffalo and Cincinnati not being what we thought they were going to be, although Cincinnati got a nice win last night with their backup quarterback.
They're not dead yet.
Kansas City hasn't played at the level that we expected out of Kansas City.
But would you count them out?
It's Patrick Mahomes. So the answer is no.
No.
But why is Kansas City not as good this year? They've got probably the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has ever played with.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce, not quite the same player. I'm not even going to blame Taylor Swift for that, because he seems to play better when she's in the building.
I don't know. She was in Green Bay.
That was the first time she saw that dude lose in person.
Yeah.
They just don't have any wide receivers.
They don't.
And Mahomes has thrown passes well enough to be completed and win games. His dudes are dropping them. So I don't know if I would say, I don't know that I would count them out, but I don't know that I would bet heavily on them to win, because of the wide receivers. I've got no chance. And, as Giselle famously once said, Tommy can't throw it and catch it at the same time.
That's
right?
exactly right.
Patrick can't throw it and catch it at the same time. In my mind, Baltimore is still the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, but they've even shown some chinks in the armor, if you will.
I mean, Miami. I mean, I like Baltimore over Miami. If Miami gets the 1 seed and they've got home field,
that's going to be a different story, I think.
That would be. You know, Jacksonville, especially with what we saw from Trevor Lawrence getting hurt last night, I don't know. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Indianapolis, the other three teams that would be in the playoffs if they started today, I got no confidence in them. I think Houston, I don't think Houston is capable of getting to a Super Bowl, to be quite honest. I think they could make some noise in the playoffs. I think they could win a game or two.
I don't think anybody wants to play them right now.
No.
With the way they're playing, with the way their defense is, the way C.J. Stroud is playing, I don't think anybody wants to see them. But I like that because they're a new team in the mix, right? That nobody expected, but they're there. The Indianapolis Colts, for that matter. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in the Colts, but I mean, they're there. They keep winning ball games. And Gardner Minshew he's not an elite quarterback, but he gets the job done.
Well, that's, Minshew mania.
Yeah.
Gets it there. Right.
I wouldn't discount Detroit.
Super Bowl?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm cooling a little bit on Detroit because their last couple of games, they haven't looked like the team that we saw earlier.
Their defense has not played well over the last several games.
And so, I still think it's in the arms race, it's three teams in the NFC. And I'll put Detroit in there in that next group down. Like San Francisco is by themselves.
Because there's nobody else after that.
If I'm grouping the NFC, and where do you guys think they fall? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. I think it's San Francisco in a group by themselves at the top. Then you got Philly and Dallas. And then I would put Detroit, and the way they've played the last couple of weeks, Green Bay. Green Bay is starting to look like a team that I would not want to play in the postseason. The other teams, whether it's Atlanta or New Orleans or Minnesota, no. I mean, the Rams,
maybe they're getting healthy.
Seattle, maybe. I mean, if you can get games like what we saw Thursday night from DK Metcalf all the time, and that's one of the knocks on DK Metcalf, as great as he is, his numbers are really good or really bad. It is a roller coaster. He is incredible when he's on, and when he's not, I mean, where is that all the time? And if they get Walker back healthy, if they make the playoffs, they could be certainly a tough out.
Yeah, they could make some noise. I mean, look, Seattle plays San Francisco this week. San Francisco, just 2 weeks ago, thrashed them in Seattle. This game is in San Francisco. So that could dampen their playoff hopes. I just think it's going to be a fun month of December. I really do. And it all starts this weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
And credit the NFL for creating schedules where you have a lot of rival games for everybody in the month of December. Most people have pretty good matchups. Philadelphia, I think, lucked out because their rival games, I mean, granted, they get Dallas in December, but they got two games with the Giants sandwiched in a game with Washington. And look, the Giants were a playoff team last year. Washington was expected to be better this year. So when they put the schedule together, I'm sure they were sitting over there, in the New York offices going, oh, man, this is going to be good. Are we screwing Philadelphia with this or the Giants with that? I mean, it works out that way. You talk about San Francisco. They got Seattle, Arizona, Baltimore, Washington, and the Rams. So they only got two games where you might think they're competitive. And the game against Baltimore, it's AFC. It ultimately doesn't matter.
Right.
And I think that will be in play, too, for Dallas, that they've got two rough road games in December, but they're both against AFC teams in Buffalo and Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So a loss is a loss, but it's not going to hurt you as much when you start looking at the NFC standings.
It's going to be a fun month of December, and I'm looking forward to it. I just want everybody to get through and no major injuries, and let's go. I mean, it's going to be a fun month. Starting Sunday night with the Cowboys and Eagles. I can't wait. Does American Airlines have Wi-Fi?
You're an idiot. Of course they do.
Good.
I mean, it will cost you.
Well, I don't
And you
care.
just
It's
have
a
to-
Sunday flight. I'm watching football.
Just hope that it works.
No kidding.
There's nothing worse than being on an airplane where the Wi-Fi is down.
Yeah.
And then you realize, I can't believe I'm bitching that I can't watch TV in a metal tube 35,000 feet in the air.
And yeah, because there's absolutely nothing you can do.
Because my last flight from Vegas, the Wi-Fi didn't work. I mean, there's only so many games of solitaire you could play.
That sucks.
I mean, that was a long, long flight from Vegas. Although, for the record, because I know you guys are very concerned about this, we leave Boston at 12:30. We will land in San Antonio at 5:30.
Yes.
Plenty of time to land and then get to the house before Cowboys and Eagles kick off for Sunday Night Football.
We will be there.
We planned appropriately.
Yes, we did.
Rob Thompson did not. Just saying, for the record.
That happens.
Well, what are you looking at me like? Rob's taking Monday off. Oh, you don't know that?
Yeah. You didn't know you were working Monday? Pledge.
Just make Rudy fly solo. He's fine.
Exactly.
He's fine. College football could change, where colleges pay athletes, not NIL, but a salary, like they're employees of the university. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? It was proposed today by the NCAA president. We'll have the details coming up next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, Texas, winter's coming, right? We all know that. It's supposed to be a cold winter. That's what my friends who are meteorologists tell me. So you don't want to be left out in the cold, especially if your heater or your furnace goes out. You want to call Woods Comfort Systems today because they're going to give you the royal treatment. First and foremost, you need to ask them how you can receive up to $3,200 in federal tax credits and utility rebates by purchasing a new qualifying Linux system. Linux is the best in the business, and that's what they put in your house. You got to call them today. The number is 877-324-6902. That's 877-324-6902. You can also get them online at woodscomfortsystems.com. And oh, by the way, they're celebrating 67 years in business. That is incredible on the face of it. But I know the Woods family. Grew up with them in my hometown of Alice, Texas. They're good people, and they treat their customers right. You can get your furnace safety checked for $67 right now. Limited time offer, but get it checked out. Make sure it's working the way it should. Woods Comfort Systems, 877-324-6902 or online at woodscomfortsystems.com.
It's the Mike McCarthy Show every Friday morning at 7 and 9 with R&R in the morning.
I'm all about winning. So when it has to do with winning, then it's part of our operation, our messaging, and our outlook.
A look at the Cowboys' upcoming game presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, injuries do happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Get the home field advantage every time with Fairfield by Marriott, official hotel partner of the NCAA. Whether you're a student athlete working toward your championship dreams or your team's biggest fan, Fairfield by Marriott has everything you need to get ready for game day. From comfortable guest rooms to complimentary hot breakfast. Fairfield is part of the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio of hotels and official hotel partner of the NCAA. Visit fairfield.marriott.com to book your next game day stay.
Save big every day during our 25 days of deals at Lowe's. Right now, get the lowest prices of the year on select major appliances. Get up to 45% off and save an extra $100 on every $800 you spend on select major appliances. And buy now, pay later with Lowe's Pay. because Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid to 12/6. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Subject to credit approval.
My name is Jim Conroy, and I'm the CEO at Boot Barn. Family and the holidays go hand in hand, and they impact our lives in incredible ways. As the hardest working people I've ever met, my parents' impact brought me to Boot Barn, where community comes first, and togetherness and heritage are celebrated. This holiday, as we reflect on the past and look forward to the future, we thank you for further impacting our lives and being a part of the Boot Barn family.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
This is Chris Canepa with Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. Listen to this message I received.
First message.
Hi, Chris. This is Santa Claus. Hey, I'm calling to give you a heads up. Last Christmas, so many people asked me for a Connecticut water softener, but getting all those Connecticut units in and out of the sleigh, up and down the chimneys, well, it's not so good on my back. So I'm going to forward all those Connecticut wish lists directly to you. Here's Mrs. Claus.
Yes, Chris, thanks again for installing our Connecticut. I just love how soft my man's beard is, and my skin feels silky smooth, even here at the North Pole.
Oh. So if it's okay with you, I'll handle the toys, you handle the water softeners. Thanks, Chris. By the way, the elves just love your jingle.
Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
From all of us at Connecticut, Merry Christmas.
Oh, and Chris, I'm not a fan of the gluten-free cookies. Bye-bye.
Connecticut.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Aggies. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, UTSA star linebacker Trey Moore has entered the transfer portal. He's a Smithson Valley product. He won the American Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Charlie Baker, the NCAA president, proposed a rule change today that would allow Division I schools for the first time to pay their athletes in ways that are not tied to educational resources. We're talking about it next on the Blitz.
El Guacamole Mexican Grill is serving up your favorite Mexican dish. Visit them today at 25020 Blanco or call 210-499-5364 to place your order. Hot, fresh, made-to-order Mexican dishes. El Guacamole Mexican Grill.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Tuesday afternoon. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us in about 15 minutes right now. More on the Cowboys and Eagles. But, you know, on this day of our week, really, of all the college football portal news that is out there, and it hit really hard today because it hit close to home with Trey Moore out of UTSA hitting the portal. It's not a surprise. That is a kid that could play for any program in the country. I mean, you take Alabama, he would start right now for Georgia's defense. He would start at Michigan. He could start at Texas. That kid can play anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, he can.
Well, no, he's a great player, but I mean, that's high praise.
Oh, I mean, Coach Traylor was able to keep him last year when he was getting interest in the portal. This year, he has hit the portal. Now, I think he's going to explore the NFL draft opportunity, see what draft grade he would get, where he would be projected.
and also weigh options in on the NIL offers that he has and will get and make a decision. But he's done at UTSA, and as a Group of 5 school, not a Power 5, that's going to continue to happen, not only at UTSA, but every program across the country that has more NIL money than UTSA and the other Group of 5s.
Oh, that's what I think if it's his case, in his circumstance alone, the NFL is probably not an option. And I say that only because I think he can make more money in playing college football right now. I don't know where his draft status would be. I wouldn't think he'd be a first-round pick, second-round pick. I don't know, but it just seems to me with the amount of money that schools are throwing around right now, I would assume he's got to have an offer or he's been talking to somebody in the college football world. And I just don't think he would jump in the portal without some sort of direction.
You know, talking with some, I think some of these players that know that money is out there, contacted directly or indirectly, because there's rules in place, and we know none of these guys would break the rules, right?
Of course not.
But I think you can hit the portal and still come back. But you want to get in the portal to be able to explore your options. You're opening up your recruiting. You know, it's like the quarterback for Oklahoma, the Gabriel kid, right? Before he hit the portal, he's going to Oregon. Now that he's in the portal, he's going to go to Oregon, right? I mean, I don't know how that happens. You know, people in their crystal balls and whatnot. But also, until he commits to Oregon, Matt Rule might come up with $2 million to get him to Nebraska.
Well, who the hell wants to go to Nebraska?
For $2 million?
Well, if you're a quarterback that likes to throw the football, Oregon's the perfect place for you.
It really is.
Just that offense. I'm not sure that, and I hope Matt Rule has a lot of success at Nebraska.
But
it's just a tough place these days, and it's unfortunate. But I think he's going to go to Oregon. He'll be successful there, and I think it's a wise decision. How much they're going to pay him, I don't know.
You know, and it's going to be a lot, right?
Sure it is.
But now the NCAA president, a guy named Charlie Baker, proposed a rule change today that would allow Division I schools for the first time ever to pay their athletes money that isn't tied to educational resources. This isn't money that's NIL money. This is basically a paycheck from the school. You know, I brought up when my daughter was at Sam Houston State on the orientation team, she used to get paid from Sam Houston State. She would get a paycheck.
Right.
When she was at Arizona State working on her first master's degree, she worked for the university. She got a paycheck from the university. Students work all over universities and get paid for it, except athletes. I think they're trying to change that for athletes, not just football players, but every athlete. Now, what he is proposing is $30,000 a year, which is a lot of money for an 18-year-old kid. Although when you start talking about some of these athletes making six figures, 30,000 doesn't seem like a lot. But for the university to come up with $30,000 per athlete, not per football player, per athlete.
I would assume that's going to be like a paycheck. You're going to make 30 grand and we're going to pay you bi-weekly or whatever, something like that. So it won't be that big of a hit. But that won't preclude them, the way I understand the story, if this is from getting other NIL deals.
Yeah, no, they'll still get that.
It would just be something extra. And look, if the NCAA had any
balls,
yes, years ago, then we wouldn't be in the Wild West like we are now. And I really wish the way that it's done, and I applaud this new president of the NCAA for at least coming up with some kind of plan. But I just think, look, it's no longer amateur college football, and I'm just talking football right now. Why don't just get a system in place where you know what it is? There's no problem with it. We're paying this guy that. We're paying him there. We've got agents. We need a GM over here. You might as well do that, because if I would have ever thought, and I guarantee you a quarterback named one 5-10 years ago, they could make $2 million playing college football, I mean, their head would explode.
Well, absolutely. And again, with this new proposal, highest paying subdivision would be required to set aside a minimum of $30,000 per athlete for at least half of their athletes on an annual basis. Money is supposed to help athletes continue educational pursuits during summer, but no requirements on how they spend it. My question, though, is you hear schools now, and we all know they have a lot of money or seem to have a lot of money, but where are they going to come up with this? I mean, college is already so damn expensive. Do they add more fees to this? At UTSA, they just shot down an athletic fee. I mean, I don't know how many athletes are at UTSA. I believe they have 15 sports, right? Say they've got 400 athletes. It's probably more than that. But to come up with $30,000 per athlete, where is that money coming from?
What's the math, Jason? Real quick.
I don't know. A whole lot of zeros. I'm not an accounting major. I'm in media. They said there would be no math.
I don't know what that would be either.
It'd be a lot.
What, 1.2 million? Or
I think way more than that.
12 million? Anyway, they got to come up with something. And I'm glad that there's at least a proposal on the table that might help rein in some of this stuff. It's just that, look, and I've got a problem with, I think they should have been. I think all along they should have been. I think they should have been given some sort of stipend so they could go out to eat, take a date to the movies, whatever the case may be. But what's happening now is just out. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And the transfer portal is the worst part of all of it. And I just and I'm glad that at least somebody's putting something in place that might help stem some of this stuff.
If it gets the conversation going, whether this is where they end up or not, and it probably won't end up here, as long as there is a conversation going where athletes can get some of that money, then you go from there. According to Pledge, there are 481 athletes at UTSA. Cool.
That's great.
Call Lisa, tell her they all get 30 grand and see what she says.
Well, only half of those get 30 grand. Isn't that what it said? You're only obligated to half of them.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll do it like baseball scholarships, where, you got one guy, you got a 25% scholarship so they can get 4 dudes on a 25%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be something like that.
Right.
Was that about 14 million a year?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. 481 times 30,000.
Go to work.
A little bit
Road
of money.
Runners.
Mm-hmm. Good luck with that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Good luck with that. Changes college athletes in athletics completely, but that's where we're going. I think the NCAA needs to get out of it. Let the big boys have their own league with their own set of rules, and everybody else.
You might as well
go from there.
You might as well, and have one free agency period.
Yeah.
All right, and if you're obligated, make it look. Unless your coach leaves, you're obligated for 2 years, 3 years, whatever the number is.
It's the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio. Sports star Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us next to talk Cowboys Eagles. Have you been watching the NBA's in-season tournament? We're in the knockout stage, and a great way to get more interested in it with the Spurs not. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Love playing the pick'em game. It's fantasy, but you can win real money, and it is legal in Texas. The pick'em game is so much fun because you pick between 2 and 5 players and select whether you think they are going to go higher or lower on their predicted stats. And you can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. All you have to do is download their easy-to-use mobile app or go to the website, UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. New customers will also have a mystery special pick live in their pick'em lobby. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys and Eagles. Nothing better on a Sunday night beginning at 6.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught at the 45, 40, Pollard, 20. Good night, nurse.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, when you talk about roofing, there's a lot of companies out there, but there's one name in roofing that stands really high above the rest, and that's Stevens Roofing. Look, a quality roof overhead by Stevens Roofing means comfort, confidence, and best of all, peace of mind, right? It protects all the things that you love. So during this holiday season, Stevens Roofing would like to thank all first responders and military service members for their protection and peace of mind that they provide. When you're in the market for repairs, a replacement roof, or an upgrade, you want to work with an experienced team that brings local roots, value, and a vast knowledge of their craft to every job. You want to work with Stevens Roofing. They provide roofing in both commercial and residential, a wide variety of materials for all of South Texas. Stevens Roofing. They've been around a while. They're not going anywhere. They do great work, and they stand behind that work. Give them a call, 210-785-0994, or online at stevensroofing.net. Again, that phone number is 210-785-0994. And by the way, the folks at Stevens Roofing would like to say happy holidays, everybody.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Here we go. Here comes the Sandman.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Adam Sandler.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The I Missed You Tour.
Should we clap along? I'm going to play guitar a little bit for you.
Adam Sandler. Live.
Take him away.
Frost Bank Center, December 7th.
All right, let's lose that. I hate it. Sorry.
Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Over the past decade, the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the UFC fights. And when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Celebrating 10 years in business, the Roof Hub is next to the Angry Elephant there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text REPLACE to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text REPLACE to 200-300 right now. Text the word REPLACE to 200-300. Don't wait. Text REPLACE to 200-300.
It's almost that time. Home for the holidays. Get your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year. Increase your chance of winning by also getting your friends entered socially. Make this holiday season the best ever. Just visit sasportstar.com and get signed up. One national winner can win up to $18,000 and pay their rent or mortgage in 2024. Official rules and sign up at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Cowboys Eagles week. Let's talk about it with Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk, who joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Charean, how's your Tuesday? Charean?
I think she lost us. Or we lost her.
Fletch, can
Maybe.
you try to reconnect, make sure she's good to go?
That sounds kind of weird. It does happen. Technology is wonderful when it works.
All I heard was a hello.
Yeah.
That's usually not a good sign.
Technology is good when it works. And again, you think about the game coming up for the Dallas Cowboys. Because it's the Eagles. It is national television Sunday night, but the Cowboys have a chance to get at least to tie you first place in the NFC East with a win.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia coming off of a loss. I don't know if it's good or bad to get that team after they got embarrassed. Let's talk about it. Charean, do we have a good connection?
I'm good. I can hear you guys.
Yeah.
Perfect. I hopefully the connection between CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott remains as good as this line right now and not what we had a second ago, because that's what it's all about. It's interesting. Is it better for the Cowboys or worse, or does it matter that they get an Eagles team that got embarrassed their last time out?
Yeah, I don't know that it matters. I mean, they did, and they certainly are going to be ready to play, but I think the Eagles were going to be ready to play regardless of how they played last week. But, this is a scenario we talked about last week. If the Eagles lost and Cowboys won, that they were going to be playing for first place, and that's where they are. So the Cowboys have to be excited about where they are and a chance to beat a team with a winning record and a team that everybody had going to the Super Bowl before last week, and all of that. So they have a big chance here and a lot to prove, and we'll find out exactly what this team is made of. And if they do have a chance, if they go out and beat the Eagles, I think we're all going to be saying, all right, they've got a chance. 49ers are still the favorites, no doubt about that, after what they've done to the Eagles and Cowboys. But they've got a chance. And when you get to the playoffs, that's all you want.
Well, Charean, I've been looking forward to this time of year because the Cowboys, we are going to see what they're made of. We got Philly this week, then you're on the road at Buffalo, on the road at Miami, then you come home for Detroit. Going to be a test for the Cowboys as they get set for the playoffs.
Yeah, it really will. This stretch of the season is going to be a good test for them to see exactly where they are. We're going to find out. And, if they can win out over this stretch, I think we are talking about, hey, it could be the Cowboys and 49ers here for the NFC title. I think they'd be the two favorites going into the playoffs. So that's what you want. That's the position you want to be in. You want to be riding a hot streak. And if they're able to do that, they will be riding a hot streak. And we will be saying that, hey, the Cowboys have a chance to really do something special, something they haven't done since 1995.
We say that, and I've been saying this, regular seasons are great and back-to-back 12-win seasons, and they're probably going to get at least 12 this year. They've got to get it done in the postseason. Although the other night against Seattle was the first time since he got hurt that I think we all missed Trayvon Diggs. And that defense did not have a great game. Dak had to carry them to a win. That's not the formula that this Cowboys team was built on. Should there be concern about what we saw from Dan Quinn and his defense against the Seahawks?
Well, I think the good thing was that you saw they were able to win offensively when the defense wasn't all there, because they did have a bad night. Deron Bland, despite the interception, was not very good. And so I do think that's something of a concern. But I also think you've seen them win with special teams this year. You've seen them win with defense this year, and you've seen them win with offense this year. So they've been able, for the most part, to get it done with whatever unit they needed to get it done from. So, to me, that's the encouraging thing, is they're not just built on offense. They're not just built on defense. They have both, that when that unit's called upon, or actually all three, when that unit's called upon, they've been able to make the plays that were necessary to win most of their games. So that to me is the good sign for this team. They're not built on just one side of the ball. So in other words, the Browns, if they don't play very good defensively, the Browns don't have a chance to win, period, end of story. And I think we saw that on Sunday, especially with the quarterback situation. But with the Cowboys, if the defense isn't playing very well, then the offense, all right, you got to score more points maybe than you've had to score in any game this year. So go do it. And they did. So, I think that's a good thing for the Cowboys. That they can win any way you want them to win, any way they need to win.
Charean, and maybe I'm just, poking the bear here, as they say. But it's it was interesting the other night on Thursday night because I think it was Kirk Herbstreit who made the comment that it looked like that Seattle offensive line was pushing the Cowboys defensive line around. And I know they are a little bit undersized, the Cowboys defensive line, but is that a problem? I know no other teams have been able to do that, but it seemed like Seattle was able to get that done.
Well, I think when you look at the two teams that at least one of which they're probably going to have to go through to get where they want to go, and that's the 49ers and the Eagles, they have really good offensive lines, two of the best offensive lines in football. So I think this week is going to tell us a little bit about if that's the case, if there needs to be a little bit of concern with that defensive line, because the Eagles are, I think, every bit as good or better than the Seahawks offensive line. So let's withhold judgment until we see what they can do this week at home against the Eagles. If they have a good day, then I don't think there's probably all that much concern. If they don't, then I think we address it next week, and we're going to be talking about it. That what are they going to do because they were just overmatched. The defensive line against the Eagles' offensive line.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz. And in the trenches is certainly important, but the quarterback play. It's interesting because it's been evolving really since the San Francisco game. But Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy seem to be in lockstep with what they're doing. Is it more Mike McCarthy giving Dak more freedoms during the play at the line of scrimmage with what he's seeing, or is it the other way around? I'm trying to figure out what has finally clicked between those two after a clunky start.
I don't know, but it sure seems like it has clicked. And whoever you want to give the credit to, I think they both deserve probably 50% of the credit. And I do think Mike McCarthy, if the Cowboys are able to win the NFC East, I think the Cowboys are getting a lot of postseason awards. I think we're going to be talking about Dak Prescott for MVP. I think we're going to be talking about Mike McCarthy for head coach of the year. I think we're going to be talking about Dane Quinn for assistant coach of the year. All of those things. If they don't win the NFC East, realistically, it doesn't matter how well Dak Prescott plays. He's probably not going to win MVP award. This has got to be a team effort. To get individual awards, it has to be a team effort. It can't just be the quarterback playing really well, the defense stinks, the special team stinks, the coaching stinks, and we win 3 games. I mean, that doesn't win you individual awards. It has to be a team award first, where the team is winning divisions and competing for championships, to say that's the team that has the MVP. That's the team that has the coach of the year. That's the team that has the assistant coach of the year, whatever the award is. Normally, these awards don't go to players on really bad teams, and there are really great players on really bad teams. So if the Cowboys do what they think they can do, which is win the division, which is be a contender, then all those awards and everything are going to come to all those guys, and everybody's going to get credit. McCarthy's going to get credit, and Dak's going to get credit.
Charean, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. I think the Cowboys have to win the division if they have designs on the Super Bowl. I'm not sure this team can go to San Francisco, go to Philadelphia, and beat those teams.
Agree with you completely. I think that's going to be the key to this thing. I think they do have to win out to win the division. I really do. I think that's going to be necessary, because I'm with you. If you look at their record on grass and their record at home and their record on turf, then yes, they're going to win their first round. Whether it's the Eagles or Cowboys that gets that 5th seed, they're going to win that first round game. There's no question in my mind about that. Whether it's New Orleans or Tampa or Atlanta, whoever gets that 5th seed is going to win that first playoff game. But then it gets real. Then you're going to have to go to San Francisco, or you have to go to Philadelphia. You're going to have to win that, and then you're probably going to have to go to San Francisco or Philadelphia, and you're going to have to win that. And that's really hard to do on back-to-back weeks. So I'm with you. They need to win the division. If they have designs on going to the Super Bowl, and they obviously do, it needs to be a division win. And then you get that, at least that, I mean, they're in contention for the number 1 overall seed, but you get that first-round game at home, and then you're probably going to get that, you're competing for it anyway. It may come down to that Detroit game, but get that number 2 seed, and then, hey, you've got the divisional round at home too. And you're only going to have to go on the road and play on grass one time if you win those 2 games.
That all sounds great, Charean. I still don't think the Cowboys win the NFC East.
I don't either, but I think this time next week we're going to know a whole lot more. And they are really good at home. There's no question about that. And I just, if they tie right now with the Eagles and win this game, then they certainly got a shot at it. But they are going to have to win out, and they do have some really hard games. And I don't know that they win out. But
and the Eagles' schedule is so easy.
It is. And that's why I say they're going to have to win out. So you're going to have to beat some really good teams. I don't care, Buffalo, how bad they are or whatever. They're up and down, inconsistent they are. That's a really hard place to play. And it's a really hard place to play in December. And it's going to be a really hard place to play for the Cowboys. And the Bills are used to playing there, even though it is on turf. That's going to be a really hard game. But yeah, if they're able to do that again, if they're able to win out, we're going to be sitting here talking at the end of the year. This is a really good team. It's a championship team. Now they just got to go do it in the postseason. And guess what? They only have one away game to do it. They can win 2 games at home. That's what we've got to be talking about, Joe. You're exactly right. To get to where they want to go, they've got to win the division. And I'm with you. I don't think that they win the division, but they've got a chance. And right here today, that's all they want. They believe they can beat the Eagles. They believe they can win out. So we're going to find out the rest of the way.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk here on the Blitz, as she is every Tuesday. You had a great tweet the other night during the Cowboys-Seahawks game on Thursday night. Feels like it was so long ago. I had to go look it up because I remember I was like, I'm going to ask her about this. Great tweet. Aside from the 18 penalties for 252 yards, this has been a highly entertaining game. How big of an officiating problem does Roger Goodell have right now?
I think they have a huge problem, and I don't think they have any intent to fix it. I think they're fine with it because it's controversial. And what do we talk about after the games? We're talking about, I don't think they care that even if we're talking about the penalties or if we're talking about the calls that weren't made or, the game last night, some of the calls, that were not real good Sunday night. Some of the calls weren't real good. Even the standalone games, you end up talking about some of the officiating. But I don't think they care enough to fix the problem. But I do think it's a problem, and I think it's a big problem in the NFL. And the only way, go back to that Rams-Saints game for the NFC Championship game on the no call and the obvious pass interference. And what they do, they tried to fix it with temporary replay for interference calls, and that lasted 1 year, and it wasn't very successful. So that's their, they take the Band-Aid approach. Whatever the problem is, we're going to put a Band-Aid on it. So until something happens in the postseason like that, they're going to if something happens, and it very well could again this postseason, then you put the Band-Aid on it, and you try to fix it temporarily, and then people forget about it. So nobody's remembering that Rams-Saints game until it happens again, and then go, oh yeah, they never fixed that problem. So I think they're fine with it the way it is, but I do think it's a huge problem.
Charean Williams, follow her on Twitter at NFL Charean. Read her at Pro Football Talk. Watch her there as well. Charean, enjoy the week. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Charean Williams on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. It's interesting hearing Charean say they'll put a Band-Aid on it. They know it's a problem. They don't give a damn. Jerry was asked about the officiating today on his radio appearance on 105.3 The Fan, and you won't believe what he had to say either. We'll talk about it next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your heater, your AC, because this time of year you might need both your heater and your AC, whatever the case, if it ain't working right, Quarter Moon is the people to call. 210-651-5899 651-5899. At Quarter Moon, they are experts at worst case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
It is awesome to be home. San Antonio invited me in and embraced me. This is a market that means the world to me. I hate that I've been gone so long, but man, it feels sweet to be back.
It's the Jim Rome Show, back in San Antonio. Weekdays at noon.
Hey, Jim Rome here.
Have a take, San Antonio. And certainly do not suck.
Wait, what? Ouch. Are you kidding?
It's the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Take an extra 30% off gift ideas from designers they'll love and 15% off beauty, skincare, and fragrance gift sets when you use your coupon or Macy's card. That's on top of great deals like women's holiday dresses, $150 and under. Plus, shop the season's hottest toys from Monster High, Discovery, and more, 10 to 50% off. Download the free Macy's app for more savings at Macy's. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window. And that's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text REPLACE to 200-300 right now. Text the word REPLACE to 200-300. Don't wait. Text REPLACE to 200-300.
Texas, the Powerball jackpot is over $400 million. Buy official Texas lottery tickets right from your phone at jackpot.com. Get a free ticket with your first play. Go to jackpot.com. Jackpot.com.
Paid for by jackpot.com. You must be 18 or older to order a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
You having some equipment problems over there?
Yeah, my camera thing stopped. Re-jump back in.
Hey.
If you're watching on YouTube, look, there I am.
And we switched sides.
Yeah, I don't know
why we do that.
Why Pledge does that.
I don't know either. It doesn't matter. It's weird.
See, now Pledge switched us back.
Yeah. Look at that. If you're watching on YouTube, and my apologies to everybody that's not.
Well, you should be.
But you look over there, just how would that be if you're looking my left shoulder? Rob's little candy house there.
If I'm looking at you, that's
left.
But I'm looking over that shoulder.
You got Rob's little candy thing here.
Are you gonna reach in there and grab some?
I might.
I mean, I think
you're a little hungry. I think we need a treat.
Well, reach in there and grab a piece of candy.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Why?
Well, Rob said he booby trapped it.
Do you really think Rob a piece of candy?
Yes.
No, I don't, because Rob's going to forget which one he booby trapped and then eat it later. He wouldn't do that to himself.
I wouldn't do that to Rob. That's a special calendar just for him.
Dude's not going to be here Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday or Monday.
Maybe I'll wait. I'll wait till they're on the plane tomorrow afternoon and then snag it.
Yeah. I don't know that you have. Rob doesn't know what day it is. I know you guys didn't run the Rob promo today. Why is that?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, do you have it? Can you play it real quick? Because I know why you didn't run it. Because Rob doesn't know what day it is. So I think it's fine that we have a piece of candy because he'll think he ate too.
Well, I mean, it's been a while since Rob left any gifts around here. I've still got my oatmeal that I guess he's eating. But there for a while, Rob was leaving a little something, just kind of a nice gesture.
I don't think Rob was leaving gifts.
No,
for you.
I think he was.
I think he was just leaving stuff that you thought was for you.
Well, but he had it stacked up here on the books that I used to put my my monitor on. So
with the oatmeal, he was hoping to God that you would eat it, and if donuts were in the break room, he would just eat a donut because you ate all his oatmeal.
Well, why would he buy this then? You think he bought it or somebody gave it to him?
Because he's trying. I mean, he's trying. He's trying.
He's trying what?
Ever since he's changed his life with IFF, he tries. I give him a lot of credit for trying.
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, I mean, Rob already thinks he's going to Boston. He thought he was going to Boston today. I mean, this was the next day promo. So every day we record these promos. They record stuff that, after their show at 10 that runs during our show. And then we record stuff today, and we just did it in the last commercial break, and it will run tomorrow morning, right? This was Rob's today.
Wednesday on R&R in the morning. It's a getaway day for us, but we got lots to talk about. Philly week continues. We'll figure out if Dak is the man. Who's the better quarterback coming into it? The numbers tell us something you might be surprised. Silver and black at 7. It's a game day baller. We'll talk croissant and coffee as the two French towers go after each other. And hey, those NFL power rankings are out. Hey, Blitz, we're going to Boston. What are y'all doing tonight?
We're doing the same thing you are. We're sleeping in our own beds. See, that'd be great tomorrow. He's already got tomorrow's done.
Perfect.
Well,
no, not really.
No,
because it's all out of whack now.
Huh?
The end part. We could just clip the end and use that.
Yeah, but I didn't run it all throughout the show. But
I don't know why. We're going to have a lot of fun with that.
Most people say get to the airport an hour early. Rob is there 24 hours early.
You think he drove to the airport today?
Wouldn't shock me.
Do you think he's packed?
No, I don't. What time do they leave? It's like middle of the afternoon?
Yeah, they got
something like that.
Yeah, I mean, because they're doing their show for the Army Navy Radio Row Thursday morning. We'll be there Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
But we're leaving at 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 a.m.
Well, you got to get you got to get there early enough, right? I have a hard time getting up for anything except the flight.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, and this is going to be fun. It's not, I don't mean it. I mean, if I'm going to Vegas or Mexico or something, then you're up and you're excited.
See, I don't want to start a vacation at 5 a.m. Like a 5 a.m. flight to Vegas. I don't want.
Well, Vegas, I've done that though before. Or it's a 7 o'clock and you get there at 7 o'clock or 6, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's too early to go.
No, I don't think so.
No, because I don't want to start Vegas tired.
Dude, when you walk through that casino door, you are no longer tired.
This is true.
So I don't have a problem with that.
But,
so you and I, though, we got to fly. We get there. We get to the hotel. We may have could freshen up a little bit, and then it's time to go to work.
We land at 12:09, assuming everything is on time.
Right.
We're on the air at 3 o'clock Eastern time, 2 o'clock here.
So there you go.
We got 2.5 hours to go get some chowder.
Yes.
A lobster roll.
Yes.
Go to Little Italy and get something to eat.
Dude, how much are you going to eat before the show? You will be asleep.
I'm just saying, I'm doing what the boss said, right? You know, Schwampy was like, make sure you Boston up the show. You got to go do things for content.
Oh,
so
well, we'll do that.
If we're late to the show because the soup guy took too long, I mean, I was just trying to do what I was told.
Oh, we're getting some chata tomorrow. I might have to try, 2 or 3, 4 different places.
How
who has the best chowder?
How much soup do you really think?
Dude, I love soup, especially clam chowder.
Yeah, but I mean, if you eat too much clam chowder and then you start drinking beer, man, that's not necessarily the mix. I mean, you don't want to fill up on soup. You got to have room for beer.
I have no issue with that. I'm not like you. Okay, I can pack a lot into this big old belly.
Yeah. I mean, but the reality is the boys are going up a day early to do their show, but they're also standby in case we're running late.
Exactly right.
We didn't say if we're running late because the flight was late, or we just happened to. I don't know.
We should just be running late.
I mean, we could go to one of there's a bar, and I was there in May. I forget what it is. The oldest bar in Boston, the oldest bar in whatever. I don't know. I mean, everywhere you go, there's like the oldest bar in America, right?
Well, of course, yeah.
Right? But there's an old bar. Maybe we need to go sample that before we start our show.
I think so. I can't wait.
Gino DiDomenico says, look forward to seeing you guys out there in Boston. Gino's kid. We won't read that part, Gino. Gino's
we
kid.
Will. Go Army, beat Navy.
Max, no, we don't say that. Bite your tongue.
Dude, Army is so much better than Navy this year.
They are. But it's the Secret Service uniforms, man.
It's that.
I mean, the submarines, there might not be a pass thrown in this game by Navy.
Well, was there ever?
Well, sometimes.
Very rarely.
I mean, the over-under would be 3.5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but Max plays for Army, played his high school ball over for the Clemens Buffaloes.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to seeing him out there. It's going to be a good time. Let's do our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Let's welcome in Dr. Josh Bell on the Buyers Barricades guest line as we get ready for Army, Navy. Doc, it's going to be cold out there. Any good advice for Ryan Eagle?
Beat Army.
There you go.
Beat Army. I'm a Navy guy.
All right.
Go Navy.
I hate to break it to you, Doc, but
go Navy. Beat Army.
Yeah, Army's much better this year.
Yeah,
they are, but this is a rivalry game, and if you've ever been, have you been to one before, Joe?
Well, last year was my first. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty special, and it's neat. The whole thing is cool, and if you've watched it for a long time, as I have, anything can happen. I mean,
overtime last year.
Yeah, and so it's exciting. Definitely, Army has an advantage. They've got a better team for sure on paper and everywhere else, but it's a rivalry game, and beat Army. That's all I can say.
All right.
Doc, this is an awful, awful thing that I'm about to say. But last year, and Joe's right, it was overtime. And we were standing at the end of the game in the end zone, and Navy came up a half yard short.
Yep.
And that poor running back for Navy screams I didn't think I could hear coming out of a human being. Until this weekend, I'm watching the red zone's flashing around, and so I'm watching the Saints game because that's what red zone was showing me at the time. And the guy holding the stick got ran over by Alvin Kamara. He broke his leg, it looked like, in 86 different places, and that man screamed noises that I didn't think could come out of a human being. I don't know if you've seen that video. It's one thing when we talk about athletes trying to recover. This guy is not an athlete, but his injury was gruesome.
Yeah, that was a devastating injury. I mean, and just to be on the sidelines and sometimes these injuries happen to athletes and they're sort of expecting the contact, and so they can kind of brace for it. Plus they're already got all the muscles that they've worked on all year to kind of rehab. And this poor guy is just standing there, just minding his own business. He's probably, there've probably been 100 plays in front of him like that. And it just caught him in the wrong position. And Alvin Kamara's running a 4.3 or wherever he runs. And man, that was brutal. So that is a tough injury. And some of those injuries, as you've seen in athletes before, they're tough to come back for a world-class athlete. And here this, I don't know what his history is, but he's obviously not a professional football player, but that's going to be a long recovery for even a professional athlete. For a guy in that position, feel for him. That's a long recovery.
I'm not going to, I mean, let's say if I was standing next to him, somebody would accuse me of being the guy in shape. Right. I mean, just trying to be nice about it.
Sure.
He's holding the first down marker, and what they've told us at this point, what the Saints have released, he suffered a fractured fibula, a dislocated knee. Obviously, he's going to have his ankle. Like, I'm surprised that they didn't talk about his ankle because it was going like 3 different directions it shouldn't go. It knocked his shoe off. I mean, I'm not surprised he had a broken leg and a broken knee, but what about the ankle? I mean, that looked like something out of a bad car accident.
Yeah, it really did. And just the way he was kind of awkwardly lying there and that, that leg, it looks like the old G.I. Joe where you could turn it different ways, I mean, that thing looked really bad. So, it could be that they don't always give you all that information on those. So it could be that he broke the fibula and then broke it down close to the ankle as well. So I'm not sure if they're talking about breaking the fibula or the smaller bone in your leg up top close to the knee or down there. So he may have an ankle fracture plus the knee dislocation. So not sure, but certainly a lot of surgery in his future, unfortunately.
Yeah, Doc, one of the things that they were talking about that they said was good news is that the blood vessels were intact. I mean, does that sometimes, does that happen?
Yeah. So if you have a knee dislocation, so your knee, the tibia, moves completely out from the femur. And if it dislocates, it's out. One of the severe consequences of that, is injuring the blood vessels. So whenever we see a knee dislocation, we're worried about nerve injury. We're worried about the vessels being injured. Those are acute things. You got to fix those right now. If you tear the ligaments in your knee and we get it stabilized and the blood vessels are okay, we sometimes let the swelling go down and get the MRI and do the surgery in a couple of days or a week or two. If the blood vessel is compromised, which it can when it rips that far with the dislocation, that's an emergency surgery to get the blood vessel back to go into the leg because you can lose your leg from that.
Wow. And my guess is he's out for the season.
Yeah,
out for the
maybe.
Season, yeah,
I mean, in the spirit of what we're doing here, that might send him into retirement, and he won't be holding the first down marker this week. Now, an injury, and again, it's so bizarre. Sometimes you see an injury and you think we're all armchair doctors, except for you're a real doctor, Dr. Bell. But last night, that injury to Trevor Lawrence, that looked so gruesome. One, how does Jacksonville make him hobble to the locker room? Do they not have a golf cart in Florida? But two, I mean, that look broke. They're saying high ankle sprain, no surgery, and hell, he might play this week.
Yeah, there is some flexibility in your extremity, so you can, if it doesn't snap and the ligament doesn't completely rupture, meaning it's like we think about like the grades of the tear, the ligaments think about it, a rope connecting 2 bones. If you stretch it a little bit, that's a grade 1. Stretch it and it kind of deforms a little bit, it's grade 2. Grade 3 is completely torn. You can have a grade 2 where it stretches, but it doesn't completely rupture, and that's one that you may be able to recover without a surgery. If it's completely gone, some of these injuries need surgeries. I can't explain how they can't get their multi-million-dollar quarterback to the locker room without a little more assistance. That's pretty crazy. You hate to see it. Sometimes the guys want to walk off the field, kind of a pride thing. Once you're off the field, man, take the cart. I mean,
Is there, I mean, in your experience, he can't play this week, can he?
Yeah, I just can't see it. I mean, I would think to myself, sometimes you think about like a offensive lineman, someone who's they have a lot of lateral movement that they have to deal with. But in general, and they're going against big guys, but they're big guys themselves. They can tape it up real tight. You know what I mean, and make it just almost like a cast they've got down there. And it's not perfect, but they can kind of go. But for him, I mean, he makes the wrong move. I mean, he's going to get his head knocked off by a 250-pound linebacker that runs a 4.4. I mean, so I think, it's not just that the injury, whether he can play well, but he plays a certain way. He's a pretty mobile guy. He makes a lot of runs. He can scramble. When you change a guy who's been doing that his whole career to, hey, by the way, you're Tom Brady now, you got to stand in the pocket. You've got no mobility. That's pretty hard to do, I think, in one game in the NFL where, these whole offenses and defenses are geared, week after week just to go after the quarterback. So I would be surprised if he comes back, especially he's the franchise there as well. So, I mean, I'd be very hard to believe that he's coming back. And I agree with you. The injury looked like it was going to be longer than a couple-week injury for sure.
Yeah, well, and an injury that is season-ending. Tank Dell, the wide receiver.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, he's a little guy, and you wonder why he's. And look, Washington should have been in that scrum blocking in that situation. But at the same time, his surgery, he's from a speed standpoint, will he be able to come back and be the same guy?
Yeah, you hope so. I mean, the technology now and the ability to kind of reconstruct those things, and he's a young receiver. He's got a lot of upside to him. So I think he's going to be one of those guys that kind of came out of Houston and has elevated himself as a kind of a premier, kind of getting to that next level. So there's going to be all the motivation in the world for the Texans and him to get better. And, we've seen players like him come back from something like this. So I hope he does, and it'll be a long road, but I think he's got a good future ahead of him if he can rehab.
Dr. Josh Bell, always appreciate the knowledge and the insight.
Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. The injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. It was all ankles. We didn't even get to Kenny Pickett's.
Well, I know we didn't, but the dude on the sideline, my goodness.
That poor dude.
Yeah,
that was brutal.
Blood vessels. I didn't know there was a thing where they could come apart.
There's all kinds of things you don't know.
Well, exactly.
That's why you're talking on the radio, and Dr. Bell is
and that's
our injury expert.
That's the best thing for everybody.
It really is. Nobody wants Joe operating on them.
No, after he sees a leg that's a different area.
Extra innings with Pledge coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Follow Jason at Jason Minutes and Joe Reinagle at Joe Reinagle 210 on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com. sasportstar.com.
Hasta la vista, baby.
KTFM Floresville. It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys and Eagles. Nothing better on a Sunday night beginning at 6.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught at the 45, 40, Pollard, 20. Good night, nurse.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Listen up, Texas. The Powerball jackpot is over $400 million. And you can now buy official state lottery games right from your phone with jackpot.com. Get in on the action right now and buy official Powerball, Mega Millions, and Lotto Texas tickets with jackpot.com. Just choose your favorite lottery game, pick your lucky numbers, and get your winnings instantly. Plus, right now, get a free lottery ticket with your first play.
I love playing the lottery, and jackpot.com makes it so easy because you can buy all your tickets right from your phone.
Jackpot.com notifies me right away if I win. It's safe and secure, and I never have to worry about losing my lottery tickets
once again.
This is the greatest thing ever. I can buy tickets right on my phone for Powerball, Lotto Texas, and other lottery games while I'm sitting on my couch at home.
Don't wait. Go to jackpot.com and buy lottery tickets on your phone. Plus, right now, get a free lottery ticket with your first play. Go to jackpot.com. That's jackpot.com. Jackpot.com.
Paid for by jackpot.com. You must be 18 or older to order a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Pro Paint Days are back for MVP's Pro Rewards members at Lowe's. Now through December 15th, you can earn 10% back in paint rewards via Lowe's e-gift card when you spend $100 or more on qualifying paint purchases. Plus, save $10 on a new and exclusive 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Drywall PVA Primer and Sealer. Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Offers valid 12/4 through 12/15. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy lawn.
IRS debt. If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-262-2917. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax